Welcome back. We missed you guys.
It was episode 30 because we don't have Mondays anymore.
Yeah, not technically not anymore.
Well,
but we took this one off. This is our first week of going with only one podcast.
It's so nice. I'm not even gonna lie. I was thinking
nice
about it today.
Break.
I was talking to one of our friends and it's just like there was a point where we were doing 4 a week because we had to prepare for other times. And then it's like the last time we recorded was 8 days ago. I'm like, oh, this is
it's nice. And it's nice to just kind of like put the foot on the brake a little and just like slow it down, let people listen to episodes and not feel like, oh, there's another one coming out in 4 days.
And it's also nice because we didn't get burned out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I really liked it. And so with us hopping back into it, we have a fucking special guest coming on this one.
It's our buddy J-Hotz.
Yeah, Jordan. And we get into everything from a little bit of law, a little bit of schooling, a little bit of rap, and a little bit of politics. It's all over the place. It's actually a good summary of Jordan.
Yeah,
it's a good representation.
Jam packed too. We did that in a little over 2 hours.
Yeah, which is very efficient for us.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so this one was good. There's going to be a little cut in the middle because an identity was dropped and we didn't want it to stay in there. So
you won't even honestly, because of the way that I'm going to cut it. You literally won't even tell. But I just want to be upfront and honest.
Yeah, there was a name drop in there. We wanted to keep someone anonymous, so we cut it out.
So the first cut ever. Well,
not the first.
Yeah. I mean, I technically didn't cut that one when you name dropped that person. Yeah. I just cut your voice, but there was no major cut in the actual audio itself. This one's literally like probably a good 20, 30 seconds. But again, you're not going to hear it because I'm going to blend it nicely because I'm a genius. And we're going to start the episode with J-Hotz now.
Yes! Welcome to the Nick and Tub
podcast. That was good. Again, I'm always fucking stoked on it.
I'm like, that fucking dumb podcast. I like it. It's fucking good shit.
That was so good. Dude, this is the best fucking thing we've ever done.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Spirit fingers.
Spirit fingers. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was so tight.
That was solid.
Good shit.
Jordan, how was your work day, dude?
Boring, you know.
You were saying you didn't send anybody to jail.
That's just intern tasks.
I said,
hey, you guys need me to do something? I wasn't doing shit all day, so I was like, let me take the initiative, you know? So like, hey, what do you need me to do? They're like, you see this big pile of records? Just assort them.
Just put them in alphabetical order?
Well, they were sorted. I had to put them in a folder and then put that folder into a bigger folder. And then that's what you call a court record.
All right.
A big folder of papers. They weigh so many trees.
Nothing
is digital.
Really?
No, none of the records are digital.
Like they still have all the filing cabinets with
every single folder.
I can understand that,
so if
though.
that shit burned down?
Yeah.
Just fucked?
But they can't get hacked.
That's the point. That's exactly what I was going to say is because if something crashes, it's there. It's the same thing as books. Like books will always be there.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
I get that. It's just, you're right.
There's
the
risks
waste of
to
trees
each.
and whatnot.
I don't care about the environment.
Do me a
who needs
favor.
that?
Just lift that a little bit higher.
This guy?
Yeah. No. The whole thing. So just bend the whole arm up. Yeah. And then you, sir. It's just a little bit more directed at you.
Okay, Dad.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. There we go. Now I'm chilling. Now I got it. All right. So
for anybody hearing noise in the background, it's just my brother. Just to give you a heads up. But go ahead with what you're saying.
For the record, the brother just turned off the light. No, that's how it is in court. Like because everything's like transcribed. So like the attorneys will be like, for the record, the witness is pointing to the defendant over there wearing the county blues.
You have to say it all.
Yeah, because it's all typed.
How many cases have you been in?
I watch cases like every day, basically.
You just go in and watch.
Yeah, I just observe.
And obviously, you can't talk about. I don't know. You can't talk about any of them.
I can talk about some
of them.
It's a lot of DUI stuff I'm witnessing right now. Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
How weird is that? Knowing that you're watching like people try and plead.
You know, it is kind of weird. Like, it's this guy and the judge, and basically, like, the judge just controls the freedom. Like,
yeah,
the judge can be like, all right, you're going to jail, or we'll let you come back if you promise to return.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's pretty wild. A lot of power.
That's got to be so fucking uncomfortable. The reason I say that is I got called in for jury duty on a just giving anybody that's listening the preface of like, hey, this is going to be a little bit of a touchy, sensitive subject.
Trigger warning.
Yeah. I just hate using that fucking word. The guy had 12 cases of statutory rape.
Oh.
Statutory or statutory?
Statutory.
With a T? ST? Yeah. Okay, so statutory rape. And they were just with somewhere with minors that turned into adults. It was it was all like he was flirting with the line. His wife's or girlfriend's kids.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting here the whole time, and I was looking at them. I need to get out of here. I can't do this.
Did they like choose
for the record? I'm breaking some lives.
There was probably no joke 120 people in that courtroom, and I mean there were people standing in the back. I didn't know they brought in that many people to like go through because there's 12 seats, right?
Yep.
So I was in the hot seat number 11. And I didn't know that as they get rid of them, you go up until you get to seat 1, and then they see if they want to keep you. And I got all the way to seat 1 because they even asked me. They said, "How many of you?" Because everybody brought up their different points. They brought up the fact of do his looks change your perspective on him if he did it or not? Right. And I was like, yes, just like I'm not gonna bullshit you, dude. Yeah. He just didn't look like a good dude. He looked evil
like
as
a
shit.
Statutory rapist.
Yeah, straight up. He just
you can tell.
Like you can look at somebody and they just have that vibe that whether it's like an aura that you're looking at or just a look, or
you're like, I would not let that guy babysit my kids.
Slightly down, so they're looking through their eyebrows. Like this guy.
Like, I'd send you to jail without trial.
He's sitting there breathing through his mouth because he's this fat ass. I'm like, dude. You just look the part, but
you're like, nah, don't believe it. Who'd let him fuck?
And then the other, there was another point that somebody had made saying, they were like, well, I mean, he has 12 cases against him, and his lawyers said, what's the difference between 1 case and 12 cases? Would you think he's less guilty? And I went, oh, that's a good point. But,
I'd like to stay.
But
maybe he's not.
Still, no. Like I don't know how I would feel about this. So I was trying to get out of it, and then the judge and the lawyers stayed in, and they asked everybody one by one to give their reasons why they want to leave. So everybody else had to leave, and they would call your number, whatever else. And I gave them all the reasons why I didn't want to be there and why I couldn't be. I told them
I had to charge for statutory rape, so I'm biased.
Fuck you. I can't give. Like, if they're asking me to give a reason why I can't be there, and I give them a reason, and then they tell me, well, you have to play it fair.
They do that.
I'm telling you, I can't be fair through this entire case. So why do you want me to stay? They're like, well, it's your job. And I'm like, but I'm telling you, like, I literally cannot be fair. I already think he's guilty. And so finally at the end, I was in hot seat number 1, and they're like, you can just leave.
Oh, good.
And so my point is, you said you deal with a lot of DUI stuff. So, I mean, that stuff's not too touchy, or is it?
Well, it's touchy to people who are directly affected by it. But
if they're, I haven't seen like the crazy DUIs because I'm just doing like misdemeanor DUIs. Mm-hmm. So that's basically
ones
like
where they get caught just drinking and driving.
Yeah, exactly.
Or high
like nobody's dead or anything. Yeah,
right. So it's not anything that actually plays like emotion in it. Have you sat in one yet?
No. Most of the time, what I've seen so far is just people come into court saying like, "Hey, I've done the DUI class. Like, let me go," or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, though, I'm witnessing a murder trial.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
That one's going to be fun. They start jury selection for that tomorrow. I am pretty excited.
And you can't, like, once you are in there, there's no more talking about it from that point forward, right?
Until it's like
until it's done.
Yeah.
Which, how long do you know off the top of your head how long certain cases are before you can talk about them?
I think, like, once it's finished, you can immediately talk about it. Because then it becomes public record, like everything you can search up.
Right. I never actually looked up my guy's case. I never looked at that entire
12
case.
cases of statutory rape. Definitely.
I'm sure they found him guilty on one of them.
That's what I'm thinking. And
if you get 12 darts, one of them will hit the board.
To add on top of that, they were like, if we brought in a 7-year-old girl and she started crying, and even if it's acting, are you going to be able to pull yourself away from that? I said, no. It's a 7-year-old girl. A 7-year-old girl.
I will
crying.
jump over this and
I
kill
will.
him. And then you'll have to trial me.
Case. Yeah, I just.
Dude, I've never been on a jury, and I'm probably never going to be on a jury now. That would be like a lawyer or whatever.
I was just going to
they say
you
that
can't
like
say
lawyers, they don't like lawyers on the panel. So
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
I guess because we like are super objective and we know.
Well, that doesn't make
Isn't
any
that what you
sense.
fucking want?
Yeah, you're right. But no,
Like, no. We need to get these guys out of here.
From a strategic point of view, like maybe if you're the defense counsel, you don't want like a prosecutor on your jury. Because then you'd probably think the guy's like in there, like telling everybody how to vote, you know, or like trying to explain the law to them with their outside knowledge. Because they always say like, don't let any outside media or don't do any Google searches regarding the cases. Just take everything that we give you and make your decision solely based off what you've seen in court.
That's interesting.
But
So
I mean,
I feel like a lot of the times, like a lawyer might come in and be like, "Well, you know, I've done a case like this, and it came out this way."
Yeah,
so
everyone would go to them for advice.
Yeah, exactly.
And their opinion would probably sway the entire jury.
most likely.
I don't know. I feel like.
And then you kind of want to get like, you kind of don't want lawyers just because like, as lawyers is what we do with like we deal with the legal system. You kind of want like somebody who's has an outside perspective, you know.
Yeah, that's the entire point of the jury is to get an
Jury of
outside
your peers,
perspective.
not a jury of like 12 lawyers.
But
Yeah.
just because of your occupation doesn't mean that you can't have an outside perspective, right?
True.
I would think that you would want professionals that can actually break down and think logically about.
Oh yeah, I would think so too. But
That's so weird to me. That's what I'm so confused about. Huh?
yeah, it's
I don't know.
a
I'm
strange
sorry.
world.
I'm just stuck on that.
No,
Because
it's-
one of the so I believe one of the people that stayed. Well, actually, I know one of the guys that stayed. He said, "Yes, I do want to be on this case," and he was already in one of the 12. He's like, because I was raped when I was a kid. I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah, that's how you get kicked off a jury immediately.
But that's what, like, I'm pretty
what I
sure
would
he
think.
stayed
oh god.
because he said that he can be fair about it. Now, I could be totally fucking wrong
Yeah.
because when I left, there was very few people left over. I
Right.
honestly thought I was going to get stuck on this. I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get paid for this. What, you get like $7 a day? Like,
Yeah,
fuck, I can't. I
it's
can't.
trash.
I have bills to pay, but obviously everybody does. But then there was this one lady that was just, I'd seen her around town randomly. I don't know how. I just remember her standing out very specifically.
Yeah.
She's fucking oddball. Out of her goddamn mind. And she wanted to be on that case. And I was like,
Jury of our
wouldn't
peers.
you want people that actually like contribute to society in a proper way and not look at things in like biased ways? And what she looked like she wanted to put this guy in jail, and she was just out of her fucking like crazy cat lady out of her
so
mind.
that's the type of person the prosecution might want to try to keep on their on their panel, just because it might make the job a little easier for them. Like you can kind of get to tell, like you're like, oh yeah, this guy will probably side with me, or this guy based on his history will likely to side against me, like even in the light of the evidence.
Yeah. So, who ultimately decides the jury? Is it the lawyers, the judge, or both?
when the lawyers are selecting, each side gets like a limited number of like preemptory strikes, so you can basically like kick him out for no reason, and then you get like a limited number of like cause strikes where you like provide a reason, but it can't be like, oh, he's black. Like it's gotta be like, oh, he was raped as a kid, so I don't want him on this rape trial. And
Right.
then once you run out of like challenges, that's the jury that people
Okay.
end up with. Yeah.
Because when I had talked to all of them, it was, like I said, the lawyers and the judge. And then when I told them exactly why I couldn't be in there, they all left the room really quick to go speak about it. And they came back in and they told me I could leave. I was like, so who actually makes it? I thought it was mostly the judge. No, I guess you would have to have like a fair.
Yeah. It's
choosing.
basically both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this one lady. This was not at this internship, but I did an internship at Van Nuys Courthouse a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Saw a lady. She tried to get on jury duty. It was like a murder trial. The defendant was Jewish, and then so she goes up there and she's like, "Yeah, I'm Jewish, so I'll be biased towards the defendant."
Shit.
Like right off the
Jesus.
bat.
Like, just throw yourself under the bus instantly.
Yeah, and the judge wasn't having it, so he's like, "All right, we can just assign you to a different trial."
Oh shit.
Yeah. And
Like
then,
this one's a Muslim.
Like,
right? No, I've
thing
seen
of people, just
there
just plead
was
that
this
you're-
one guy. This was like final season, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a professor. It's final season. The kids need me." And the judge was like, "I don't care."
Damn.
I feel like they're pretty
That's fucked up.
like hard about their like hardship.
What do you mean?
Like people try to say like, yeah, I have a hardship. Like it's final season. I feel like they don't really care too much.
Yeah, because they probably hear it from everyone all the time.
Yeah, basically. So. Like, I need to pay my bills. Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, so does everybody else.
Exactly. I mean, literally everybody has an excuse as to like why they can't do things. I mean, if it was like a case where I genuinely could sit there, I'd bite the fucking bullet. I'd sit in it. That's fine. But
yeah, a lot of them don't even go on that long too. Like a couple of them are wrapped up in like a few days.
My brother actually got held up in a case. I think it was for fucking 3 or 6 months.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think it was 3. I'm pretty sure at least it was 3.
Yeah.
If he's listening to this, he's probably gonna fucking think I'm an idiot. But I'm pretty sure it was 3. And I was like, dude, that's gotta like missing work that whole time. I don't think he was getting paid. He might have been.
Oh God, yeah.
Imagine missing 3 months of fucking work. Like, how long was the OJ trial?
I have no idea. A long time, I think. Maybe.
Wasn't it over a year?
Probably. Sounds.
I have no idea.
I want to look this up.
Imagine being on that jury. Shit.
No, I think it was.
Dude,
something
they probably
like
still
that.
get like hit up for interviews and everything.
Oh, I bet they probably made money off of it.
Oh yeah, dude. That's a good jury selection to land on.
One thing we did skip was we didn't even allow you to introduce yourself.
Oh damn! I know.
So, like,
I'm just some random guy talking about like statutory rape and jury charges.
Yeah, we're like, all right. So tell us about your day.
one of the things that we always do, because we do the intros at the end, is we introduced you already.
Okay,
so
that's solid.
Right, you have to. We have to think about it that way, but we always let you do it.
I like the person doing it too.
Yeah, no,
though.
of course. I'm just saying is when you start talking, it's not just random. Like they know your name, they know what you do,
right.
But then you get to actually introduce yourself.
Yeah. So
right,
if you were to shake hands with a stranger and you had like 30 seconds to be like, this is who I am.
All right. Hey, what's up, stranger? My name's Jordan. I'm from Palmdale. I make rap music. You can search me up, J-Hotz. I go to law school. I write papers for people.
Oh shit! I forgot you did that.
I do a lot.
Wait, you genuinely write papers for people?
I made like $5,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Bro, he always tweets. He's like, "All right, it's final season. Who needs an essay done?"
Yeah, dude, I'd be hooking them up. Discounts during final season.
So
the price went up just because summer school.
Obviously, you're good at writing papers.
I guess, yeah.
What do you mean you guess? You made $5,000.
You get C's. No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's crazy that random people trust me.
That's what
why do you trust some stranger from the internet to write your paper?
He goes to law school. He has good ethics.
I could totally just take your money and run off on the plug, but
I wonder if anybody's ever recommended you.
Oh, I get recommendations all the time. They're like, hey, my friend told me about you. Hey, what's up? I need a paper.
Did they ever come back and tell you the grade that they got?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of the time, it's like pretty solid grade.
They're like, I got an A. You're like, no, bitch, I got an A.
Yeah. Dude. I see people like return clients talk about, I got a 4.0 this semester, and I'm like, you're welcome. Like
I got that 4.0.
Bro, I remember you tweeted. You were like, yeah, like I wrote homie's essay for him, and he hasn't paid me yet. Should I email his professor?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
Because that's his policy. You don't pay him, he rats you out.
Straight the fuck up.
Yeah, straight up.
Support that.
I haven't had to rat anybody out, luckily, but there was this one guy. It was a recommendation from fucking Joel. Yeah, dude. He's like, yo, I'm gonna give you my little homie. He needs a paper or whatever.
Oh no.
So, dude sends me half. I write the paper, and then I'm like, all right, send me the other half. Day goes by. He's like back and forth. Oh, I'm trying to get money. Blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, whatever. Another day goes by. I'm like, yo, what's the deal? He stops replying. So I just tweet like,
what should I do?
You guys, should I send a nicely worded email to his professor that he plagiarized? And then I sent him that tweet, and then he sent me the money like 10 minutes after that.
I mean, if that's in your quote unquote contract like that, I wouldn't hold back on that shit.
I'm curious. What are your prices?
So they're, as of July 2019, $13 per page.
Nice.
And then the price might go up like if they need it back within 72 hours. Or like if I have to watch a movie, I just charge them like a movie fee.
How do you even price range that? What made you choose 13?
Okay, so I started off at 10 because I feel like that's an average number.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm worth a little more than this. So I went up to 11. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, 11 is cool. So like at the end of the semester, I hit 12. And then
you're like, Jerry Brown raised minimum wage. I got to go.
Yeah, basically, I feel like 12 is like minimum wage. I'm a little more than that. So I landed on 13. And I just did my first $13 paper like this week. The price literally just went up like yesterday.
Hell yeah.
And what's the longest paper you've ever written for someone?
Longest paper, 10 pages.
Woo!
It was 10 pages on autism.
Oh, shit.
You probably learned so fucking much.
Dude,
You probably learned so fucking much.
Jeopardy or like any other game show.
So so if somebody approaches you, wants you to write a paper for them, do you just attack it head on and get it done, or do you like lag on it? Because
do you have that writer's procrastination that everyone has?
Yeah, I do for sure. I will never start on a paper in advance. Like I almost all the time do it like the night before.
Oh shit!
Or like a lot of the big assignments, I'll do like. I get my prime writing done from like the hours of 12 a.m. to like 8 a.m. Like I'll just.
Oh my god!
No, so this is what I was doing.
You're
like
dead as fuck at work.
since this was like at the beginning of the month or at the beginning of June. Like I just got out of school and I didn't start my internship yet. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I would just get like a bang. I'd chug a bang at like 1 a.m. I'd just type my ass off for like 7 hours straight, and then I'd fall asleep and wake up at like 4 o'clock.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Holy fuck! Oh my god!
Yeah, I would for sure get my full 8 in after like staying up until 8 a.m.
And it's worth the money for sure.
Yeah, big time.
I mean, you're gaining knowledge and helping people.
Or I'll often do that if they're like, "Hey, I need this paper. It's due tomorrow morning at 8," and I'm like, "What the fuck? You just got this assignment or what?"
Yeah, seriously.
I like that because then I just charge them at the ass. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just.
I'm super curious about that though.
Double it? Fuck.
Sometimes.
Hell yeah. Double it for what?
If they need it like
the next day, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I do that. A rush fee. You gotta have the rush
exactly.
fee.
Like I just wrote
overnight.
Yeah, exactly. It's expedited shipping fee. I wrote 2 pages for this girl. This was like earlier in the week, I think, or like Monday probably. And I charged like $55.
Fuck.
Hey.
Yeah.
You need the fucking paper. Yeah. You need the paper.
No,
like,
dude, it was funny. I was with my friend, and I'm like, how much should I charge this person? I'm thinking 50, and my friend is like, just go 66. And I was like, okay, fuck it. Like, they need the grade. Obviously, it's due tomorrow. They're not gonna write it. So I sent her. I was like 66, and she's like, can we do like 45 to 50? And I'm like, 55. And I just made her feel like she was meet me halfway.
Yeah, kind of. Actually, that works from the 45 mark. So, would that ever get you in trouble? It would get them in trouble.
It's something I think about all the time.
Especially now that not only are you talking about it on here, but becoming...
You tweet about it.
Yeah, I tweet about it all the time.
You want to be a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
So is that
ever... I don't know, like...
Because it's not your
I feel like,
assignment.
Yeah, I never do things for people at my school, so I can't really get in trouble at my school. One time... I'll talk about this one time real quick.
Go for it.
Senior year, CSUN. I posted just like on one of those like CSUN class of like 2018 pages. I was like, hey, you need help doing some homework? Like hit me up, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Somebody reported me.
Whoa, what a fucking narc.
Yeah, dude. So I get an email from like the vice president of student affairs talking about come to my office immediately. And I'm like, oh shit. So I get to the office and dude's like, so what's this? I hear about you doing assignments for people. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just posted it on Facebook. Like, I don't know. I don't really do it.
Tutor.
And so he's like, okay, well, hypothetically, if you did that, don't post about it on the Facebook page. Because he said like some girl reported it and she was like, wow, this is what happens at CSUN. I thought this was a good school.
Oh, what a little whiny bitch.
Fucking cunt.
Yeah, no, but anyway, I don't worry about getting in trouble because I don't do it for people at my school. So like, what is my school going to say? And then again, like, if someone else gets in trouble, like, that's their grade. They knew what the deal was if they were buying papers.
I just can't see how someone would be able to, like, get you in trouble for that.
Yeah, like, the only scenario I imagine in my head, because I think about this before I go to sleep, some, like, super hater just calls my school and is like, hey, one of your students is writing papers for people, and then I have to explain my lucrative business to my freaking dean of the law school or something.
I guess that's mostly my point, is if not anything else of like getting in school with any type of academic police, is that you kind of have a business.
Yeah, so I'm like, what are you guys gonna do? Like, you trying to stop me from getting money? Like,
exactly.
Being a student, it's tough.
Technically, yeah, because like you don't have a business
academically
license,
dishonest or whatever.
Yeah, and I really wonder, there has to be a law to that, a rule against that.
Yeah, well, I
mean, who gives a fuck?
Before
I've seen
started,
people like professionally post up about how they do essays.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they have like actual like businesses where they're like, oh, you want an essay done?
The first thing I Googled was like, is it illegal to do people's homework? And all the answers like, no, it's dishonest, but it's not illegal. Like there's no federal code against, there's no federal plagiarizing code. Like,
hey, dope. Then fucking hats off to you, because if you know how to write papers well, that's the thing.
I can only imagine you only get better and better at that shit. Like,
I just love that you fucking procrastinate until the last minute.
No, for sure, dude. Like, I would never do somebody else's paper in advance. Like,
that's when the best work is the hours before.
When you have to, like,
every paper that I've ever passed in any college, literally ever, or any class ever, was because I did it last minute.
Yeah, and I also
like the night before.
I have a problem with, like, I guess timing out a paper, so I can't really like plan to do something on one day and then come back to it. Yeah, like I have to write it all in one sitting because it's just like I'm in the zone or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm learning about it.
I couldn't imagine coming back to a paper, reading over it, and knowing where your thought process was.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Fuck that.
100%
it's like pausing in the middle of this podcast and then picking up this conversation
tomorrow.
Like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good fucking analogy for that. So since you do all these papers and then you go to law school and you have like all of this like vast knowledge on some things that are like pretty general, but you know, like shit when it comes to like history and science that people mostly don't know because they just don't put the time into like papers.
Like,
and then you have like law school knowledge on top of that.
Yeah.
So my question from all that comes into play is like when you're sitting down and like you're writing lyrics, do you ever have like those moments where you're like, I could totally put a reference about blank in here, but nobody would fucking get it?
Dude, sometimes yes.
Like you're like, oh yeah, I just wrote a paper on autism. I could totally make an autism reference in this, and nobody would understand it.
that does happen sometimes, where I kind of got to like figure out like,
you're like, I'm gonna write
I would love to write a paper about like the mens rea involved of like criminal homicide, but who's gonna listen to that bar except for like
who's gonna listen to that
except for maybe like my students who are in hell with me in like our criminal law class.
Yeah, literally.
And then like, then they're gonna listen to it and be like, oh, I'm fucking triggered, dude.
So you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna write a bar about object permanence.
Yeah, like, oh, I love Kant's categorical imperative. That was the latest paper, and I think it's crazy.
Is that Kantism, like the philosophy, when it comes down to like
it was,
sticking to laws no matter what, like the outcome.
like there's you got like your right decision, and a right decision is only right if you choose to do it because you know it's right, not because of like some other like reason. So let's say
there's like Kantism and utilitarianism.
Yes, utilitarianism. So that's where you weigh like the general good of the people, and so you make a decision based on if more people would benefit or not.
Yeah. So to break it down, Batman is a Kantian because he wouldn't kill the Joker, even though him keeping the Joker alive causes more crime and more people to die because he's never caught.
100%.
But utilitarianism would weigh it out and be like, okay, I could kill the Joker and it would be morally wrong because I'm taking a life, but it would be saving future lives.
Interesting.
So to make it a little more
I think it's funny when like I'll write a paper about a subject that I already like talked about. So like when I was writing this past philosophy paper, I did a paper earlier in the semester and it was on the same exact thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it on like the difference between the two or on just on Kantism?
Well, the first one was on the difference between the two, and then this last one was about those plus Aristotle's theory of justice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Something about virtue. I don't know.
That's fucking interesting. I could fucking go on about that.
And then
shit.
sometimes like, oh, it's so funny when I get the same exact prompt and I'm like, oh, so like this is for the same class. So,
damn, that's hard. So you have to like write a different paper, but the same thing.
So one time,
hey, fuck it, take the money and just let them get plagiarized for it.
Copy paste.
No, see, I care about my clients too much to do that.
I know.
No, but one time there was this paper and it was like, write about a popular like form of entertainment or social media or something. So the first time I wrote about Trump's Twitter. And then so smart. I got the same exact prompt and I was like, you know what? I'll write about AOC's Twitter.
Wow. Good move. Hell yeah.
But this week too, there was this one paper. It was a prompt. It was like, choose a short story from this book and write about it or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking through the list of short stories I can choose from, and I see this one called The Yellow Wallpaper. And I'm like, oh, I know The Yellow Wallpaper because I wrote a paper on it a couple weeks ago. So for that one, sorry, blank, if you're listening, but I just phoned in that paper. I took my paper that I wrote, and that just reworded like every single sentence.
That's smart as fuck.
Yeah.
Did you wait till last minute to do that too?
Oh, for sure, dude. It was like super last minute. Like, no, if it wasn't on that book, I would have been screwed. Just because it was due at like 1 a.m. and I had planned to start it earlier, but I didn't get started until like 10 a.m. I mean 10 p.m. And
holy fuck, you had 3 hours?
Yeah. Luckily, I had already had the paper in the bank.
Your quote unquote rough draft was ready.
Yes. And the good thing about that was the paper that I wrote originally was like 7 pages long. Oh, and this one only had to be like 4 pages. So,
oh yeah, that's easy money.
It's perfect.
Hell yeah. Shit. So to dip into it, so like what is your job technically?
I call myself a professional ghostwriter.
Because of the essay shit?
Yeah.
Oh no, I meant like your job, like your
your my internship or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm a law clerk for the district attorney.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And so you just do whatever they need you to do, and then you attend. And then you attend the cases as well, right?
Yeah, basically, I'm either in court watching proceedings, or I'm like in my little cubicle doing some research, or I'm filing papers because everybody needs a clerk.
And so, you're in law school, like you were saying, and
I just finished my first year.
Hell yeah, congrats!
How long is law school again?
3 years.
Wow, that's not bad at all.
Not bad.
It's not bad, but after 4 years of
it's post grad. This thing.
Yeah. So you got 2 more years, and then what's the goal from there?
I think I want to be a prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
Either
bar
that
exam,
or I gotta pass the bar right after. It's ridiculous. Like they're like, okay, here's 3 years of school. You did that. Now go take a test, and we'll test you on everything that you learned in your first year. It's basically like only first year classes that are on the bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like relatively hard?
Yeah.
Because of the information, or because of how long it had been since the information?
Information, how long it's been since you've learned it, and then just the test itself is like 2 days.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's like an SAT.
It used to be like 3 days, but they condensed it down to 2 days, I guess, and then you're just like typing a lot, multiple choice.
I know that there's different bar exams for different states.
Yeah.
Are some harder than others?
I hear California has like one of the hardest.
So Kim K ain't passing that shit.
I don't know. I think she'll pass it.
Really? You think she'll?
Yeah, for sure.
Is she taking classes on it?
She's doing an apprenticeship, and California is like one of 2 states that allows you to do an apprenticeship to take the bar.
Wow.
Yeah, so most states you need to go to law school before you take the bar, but in California you can become an apprentice for a licensed attorney, and you have to work for them under like 4 years and then just study, and then you get to take the bar.
What the fuck? Damn. Kim Kardashian really might be a lawyer.
Yeah, but people don't do that because the bar pass rate for like apprentices has historically been pretty low.
Yeah.
But I don't think Kim will have a problem.
To give you an example of like how hard it is, I know somebody, I won't name drop them, that didn't pass the bar exam by 1/1800th of a point.
Jesus. Yeah, people like retake it multiple times.
Not even a full fucking point.
I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah,
I'd be so pissed.
They weren't very
happy
at all.
Is there like a period in which you have to wait to take it again, or can you just be like, all right, tomorrow?
I think well, they only distribute the test like every so often. Like I know there's one in June, and then I think there's one in probably like January. I feel like there's maybe 2 or 3 per year.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you take the L that first time, you got time to kind of wait and study.
How many times are you able to take it?
You can take it until you pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it costs to take the bar too.
How much?
I don't know the exact price, but
pretty sure it's pricey.
I think rough estimate just with like all the fees, it's like at least $500.
Imagine paying that, studying your fucking ass off just to fail.
Yeah,
like
dude,
1/1800th
that would
of a point.
Dude, if I had dumb money, I just take that shit for the rest of my life until I passed it.
Eventually,
you'll learn the questions.
Okay,
Speaking of dumb money, when you brought up Kim K, like not that I think she's going to go buy her way in. I was going to state that like because she's got money and all the different resources and everything else.
Like, dude, she could probably like hire like some of the smartest professors to teach her on this stuff.
And she get Cochran and just
right, like
just break it fucking down for her until she gets it all.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
She seems like she knows what she's doing, at least from what I hear.
Yeah, she looks like she's pretty dedicated too. She posted like I remember she posted some like a picture of a torts question that she was like studying for, and it just triggered me. Like,
a what question?
Torts, legal wrongdoings. So like, let's say, like assault, battery, but like not criminal stuff, like intentional infliction of emotional distress.
And she posted up, and why did it trigger you?
Just because I just started thinking about my torts exam. That was the worst exam. I got a fucking D on that shit. That shit was bad.
Yeah, you should have someone write that shit for you.
I know. No, but I totally deserved that D because I dead ass stopped paying attention like halfway through that class. And this was like my first semester, and I'm like, oh, like I guess if you stop paying attention, you end up with a D.
Yeah, seriously.
But it was just, they set me up for failure. Like, it was an afternoon class right after lunch. I'd always be like tired, just not paying attention. I had an old man who was a boring professor.
Oh, that's the worst.
Dude, you just sit there and he's so bland.
You know what I just realized?
Just talking about the law, which is not interesting at all. Yeah, dude, just imagine sitting through that for nearly 2 hours every day after lunch. Law,
yeah.
Yeah. Like,
fuck that. No, I realized midway through your sentence that there's officially on the internet audio recording of J-Hotz saying, yeah, I totally deserve that D.
We're just going to get that sound
when you run for president, that's what's going to be campaigned against you.
Do you want a man who deserves a D for president? Oh, shit. Freaking attack ads. This guy got a D in his law school exam.
He cares. Well, no, because then they could use that. That could be used against that D of like, you care about people, which is why you're writing their papers for them. So really, I mean, it kind of plays in your favor.
Yeah. You really want someone dishonest running for president?
So to
paid for by Jerry Brown.
The corpse of Jerry Brown.
Oh my god. To branch into the way you're dressed and the fact that like when you walked up, because you're dressed in
for the record, I am wearing
for the record
a gray button-up shirt tucked in by a nice light brown belt. I've got some navy blue, I guess, suit pants on. Yeah, I left my suit jacket in the car. I didn't want to stunt too hard.
I mean, shit, Jesus, if you walked up in a fucking suit, I would have just not talked the entire time. No, but so I know very little about you up until now.
Yeah, it's your first time meeting, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so like I knew a little bit of the fact that you were going into law and then that you also rap. So you want to talk about that a bit?
Hell yeah, let's get into the rap game.
No, I'm just playing.
I was about to say, like, really?
I was like, shit.
Like, that's a big one to just leave out. When did you start?
Yeah, okay.
I remember your hit in high school.
Yeah, dude.
Spring break.
That slapped. All right, we'll start before spring break.
All right.
This is like maybe I put it around October 2010.
Damn.
I was making a lot of YouTube videos.
How old are you now?
22.
Okay.
I was making a lot of YouTube videos. I was 13, running around with the camera doing dumb shit. And then one day my camera broke. And so I'm like, oh no, I can't let my subscribers down. How am I going to create content for them? So I had a Guitar Hero microphone. So I just plugged it into my computer and I just freestyled some bars real quick.
Hell yeah.
And so that was like, amazing. That was the first time I ever made a song. Probably not the best, but it's up there. It's honestly probably still on the internet.
Hell yeah.
It's like titled my first ever rap.
What how many subscribers did you have?
Dude, I had a lot of subscribers on YouTube. I had like at least 2,000.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I was booming. My little YouTube channel was pretty tight.
Hell yeah. I did not expect that.
I had some wild for 2010.
Yeah, dude, I had some funny ass shit on there.
Bro, do you ever think of like where you would have been if your camera didn't break?
Dude. He's fucking chilling with Shane Dawson probably. Because Shane Dawson was like on YouTube when I started watching YouTube or whatever. And then I stopped watching YouTube. But I kept seeing Shane Dawson everywhere. And I'm like, oh, this guy's still relevant?
Dude, you could be one of the top.
Yeah, dude.
You had 2,000 and 2010. That's so fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, man.
I love the fact that you plugged in the rock band mic because we did the same shit back in the day to record music. Like with all of our metal music and whatnot, it was This is the only thing that plugs into the computer. We don't have any converters, so plug that shit in. Sounded like trash, but you got a recording out of it.
So to keep going in my rap career, I recorded Spring Break on that Guitar Hero microphone.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Fun fact.
That's so tight.
So yeah, this is like, I want to say my junior year of high school, which would put it around like 2012, somewhere in there. I was on Spring Break. And I was like, obviously, and I was high or whatever. I just got done smoking with my friends, and I'm just like chilling on the internet. And I was on Twitter, and for some reason, my tweet comment was like black and white, and I just felt like Drake. It was a combination of like the black and white picture. I feel like that's very like Drakey.
Yeah.
And then I was just like a little high, and I'm like 15 or 16, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like Drake. So
for Nick, since you don't know how the lyrics go,
what?
Since you don't know how the lyrics of the song go,
of his song, I thought you said how lyrics go. I'm like,
no.
what do you?
So the hook of the song is Spring Break, and I'm feeling like Drake.
Oh,
yeah, got my twit on black and white. Parties lasting all night.
Yeah.
Okay. Very straightforward song. But people liked it. so I think it's because I shot a funny ass video for it. Oh my god. So the video, I'll try to describe it for you. It starts off shaky ass camera shot. I didn't record that. My friend Johnny did, but shaky ass camera shot. And we actually shot the first scene at the end of the day. And so it was like dark outside. So homie was like, all right, fuck it, just go inside the Mi Ranchito restroom and I'll start filming you rap. So okay. So my friend Alan goes by the rap name Swag Poppy. He's got the first verse, and he's just like chilling on the toilet, like not like taking shit, but he's just like sitting there, whatever, shaky ass camera. And then throughout the video, you see me like go into like a Goodwill, and I pick up like a makeshift Above Millions sweater. At the time, I didn't really like Above Millions just because it was like, I guess, the streetwear for all the food shuffler people, you know? I just thought that shit was stupid. So this is like really bad, dude. I feel bad. Like I had the homegirl who's also in the song. She pissed on the sweater in the video.
What the fuck,
the video,
dude?
In the video, like we beat up some random guy. We throw lemons at him because I got a bar about throwing lemons at pedestrians. And then it like climaxes in Walmart, and me and all my friends were like riding bicycles throughout Walmart.
You beat up a random person?
No. So we hired him. He was our friend.
It was scripted.
He had to play the part of random guy.
Okay.
Yeah, we
recorded an assault.
Is that nigga wearing Above Millions? Let's get this nigga. And then we just hop out the car, and then the sound effects are like, psh, 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 ah!
I have to watch this fucking video, dude.
Dude, it's classic.
And this was 2000.
I want to say 2012.
That's fucking...
Yeah, people funny. For some reason they like that song, so I was like, you know what? I'll keep making music, whatever. I got a guitar here, a microphone. I could do it all.
I'm on it.
So
find it.
I remember I was turning 15. I think actually this might be right before spring break. I was turning 15, and I was like, you know what? Or somebody said, because around the time Big Sean was popping and he had his like Finally Famous campaign. So somebody tweeted like, hashtag Jordan is finally 15. And I'm like, oh, that'd be a fire mixtape name. So I just took that name and I found like a few beats. They were like mostly like Tyga beats because that was popping around like 2011, 2012. So it's just me rapping over like Tyga beats, and I made that shit in like, dude, I wish I had the work ethic I had today back then. I made that shit in like a night. Like I just stayed up like the night before my birthday because like a lot of the songs weren't finished, so I was just like rapping in my Guitar Hero microphone on my little free audio recording program. I had Audacity, and yeah, so I dropped that, and then spring break came after that. I want to say spring break, and then I had this mixtape right after spring break. It was called Thanks for the Invite. That was pretty cool. And then 3 years ago I dropped the album called Meditations. And that was
I remember I was impressed as fuck because you were the first person I knew that was local that got their shit on like iTunes and Spotify and all that shit.
Let it be known, I'm the first to do everything, including that. No, but yeah, so I did that. That was like 90, probably like 80% produced by DBS. Rest in peace. And then I produced one song on there, and then the homie ABCs produced like 2 tracks, and that was cool. I think that album was pretty fire.
And so, didn't you have a release party for one of your? Was that you?
No, you had the Hotz Gala.
Oh,
Hotz
yeah.
Gala. There you go.
So last year,
that shit was fucking
dude. I'm trying to do that shit
amazing.
again, but I just don't know where to throw it. Like I've been searching for a venue for like weeks now.
Dude, yeah, you need a venue because you had your backyard filled.
Yeah, dude.
And
it's gonna be like more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. I remember I got the invite to fucking host it, and I was like, dude. Oh my god, so fucking honored, and it turned out fucking great.
Yeah, dude, it was beautiful. So yeah, I was
and it was so cool because you had a lineup, and like there was like real talent in there and shit.
Dude.
Like people were fucking good, dude.
Like some people I'd never even heard of just hit me up like, hey, can I perform at your shit? And I'm like, yeah, for sure, I don't care.
That's tight.
And he was like the final act, and he comes out in his cap and gown and everything from his house.
It was
like
so fire,
I was on the mic, and I was like, has anyone seen J-Hotz? And then like the fucking backyard door open, and he's in his cap and gown, and like all the lights are off.
Oh, it was so badass. Yeah, so it was for my graduation from CSUN. Like it was a graduation party. I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, you should like perform at a party or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? You're right, Mom. I should get my friends and we should all perform. And so it was birthed.
That's fucking cool, dude. I hear about Hotz Gala all the time.
Dude.
Like, it was your guys' thing.
Yeah, number 2, should it happen, is going to be fire.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
What are you gonna name? It's just
Hotz Gala 2.
Yeah, as soon as anyone,
but like Roman numerals.
Yes,
it's a little more distinct.
Of course.
Yeah,
Hotz Gala the second.
The second.
As soon as people see Hotz Gala 2, it's like the summer blockbuster just got that sequel that everyone was waiting for.
Exactly, huh?
And so 3 years ago, you put out that album,
yeah. So
right?
I put out Meditations 3 years ago, and that was like my first, I guess, like thought out body of work before I had just like put out little mixtapes of just like freestyling over other people's beats or whatever. So for that one, I knew I wanted to keep it like local. So I was like, yo, DBS, send me a beat pack or whatever. So he sent me a bunch of beats. And then I recorded a lot of the songs at DBS's house. And this fool like literally never mixed them. He mixed like one of them. And then he sent me the rest like unmixed, and I'm like, bro, what is this shit? like what the fuck is this? But no, I'm so glad he did that because it like led to me going to an actual studio. And so I went to a studio. My friend G Niels, he's a producer. He had the studio in North Hollywood, so I recorded everything there. Super expensive, like $50 an hour. That shit was
like it's pricey.
That was terrible. It's like 14 songs on there.
Oh, fuck.
Dude. It took like a decent like 6 months just, coming back like on the weekends and shit to record.
Yeah.
But I recorded at that studio. Everything came out like so clean and like
professional,
ready to be uploaded to Apple Music and Spotify and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that studio was cool too because I met like so many dope people. Like I met Lil Pump like right before Gucci Gang dropped.
Whoa.
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
Whoa.
He was I met him and Smoke Perp. They were in the studio together because they all make music with like Genials or whatever. So they were in the studio together. Lil Pump was honestly like high off his ass. Like he was just slumped in the couch. Like he wasn't really talking. I was chatting up with Smoke Perp for a little bit. He was pretty chill dude. I told him to hop on my song. He didn't want to just because
I was about to say, did you ask him to get on?
Oh God, he was listening to shit. He was like, oh, this is pretty cool, bro. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's cool. Add a verse. He's like, nah.
Fuck.
I ran into, who else did I run into there? Chris Travis. I ran into Key. He's one of my favorite rappers.
Key. Is he just by Key?
Key with the exclamation point.
Oh, okay.
And it's crazy because like I never really heard of him before that, and then like he was cool, dude. So he was just like showing me his music, and I was like, oh yeah, you're pretty tight. I actually, dude, I fumbled the bag. I got his number, but I didn't really do anything with it because I was like what, like 19 years old. I didn't know how to A&R and network or whatever.
Right.
I think that's it as far as like famous encounters at the North Hollywood studio.
And so once you released the album, was that, so were you just doing it to do it, or did you want to make something out of it? What was the ultimate goal for you?
I guess both. Do it because I want to, and I want to see it develop into something.
So you still want? Do you still want it to develop into something?
Well, I mean, he's dropping an album.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know that.
Remember we were talking about the album artwork that before this?
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was just like
because I gotta show you the artwork real quick.
We talked about the album artwork for the single. Oh no shit!
Yeah, dude,
that's cool
hard.
as fuck. I like that.
So,
dude, what? Real quick,
I love the fucking the diamond that you see.
Dude.
I was gonna say real quick. One of my favorite fucking things is that you rep the AV hard as fuck. You're not one of those. God. You're not one of those LA boys.
Oh God, no,
like,
fuck
LA,
that.
I'm from LA.
No, fuck Los Angeles, bro. I'm from the Antelope Valley until I die. Even though I was born in Glendale, like. No, I moved here when I was like 3, so it's home. Nah, yeah, I'll always rep the Antelope Valley. Like,
hell yeah.
I hate people who like get on and they like forget about us. Like,
they like
you're okay, cool guy. Like,
or the people that still live here but trash it all the fucking time.
Yeah, dude. Like, okay,
you're not
dickhead, why don't you move? Like,
yeah, well, you're not making your shit any better.
I was actually just talking to a friend about this because it was a point that I had about when I was like 15, 16. I used to hate the AV. I think at some point everybody doesn't like the AV just because like
I fell into the trap of like the mainstream opinion of it.
Yeah, because like you're limited. You don't have a car. You don't have money. You're kind of just stuck. There's nothing to do. There's bowling in the movies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then as I got older, I'm like, oh, you know what? Like when I come home after being in crazy ass fucking LA all day.
Yeah, dude, it's like peaceful.
So
it's
nice.
serene.
You mean I can find parking?
Like there's cops everywhere,
right?
There's cops pulling people over, gunshots going off, helicopters going overhead. I'm like, that's fine. It's okay. It's peaceful for the most part. Like,
yeah,
and it's nice. And
it's just like anywhere. Like it's what you make of it. Really, like
100%.
You can choose to be like, oh, this place sucks, or you can go out and meet some cool people like yourself and
dude.
I had a blast.
I had an episode where I went on like a rant about how like this place is way better than what people think, and how like
there's far worse places,
dude, and how people like just fall into
fucking
like
Roseman for Christ's sake.
Yeah, seriously, and Roseman's like nothing compared to like Cal City or Boron.
Right,
like you could keep getting down and down into the dumps, but like I went on this big ass rant and I was talking about how like people like bitch about it, but in reality they don't pay any credit to like the actual positives of living out here, like how close you are to everything, how like cheap it is compared to relative to Southern California, all this shit. And apparently like I had people like telling me later that like I completely like 180'd their opinion of the AV just from that rant.
Look at you, you're out here doing the Lord's work,
dude. I'm trying to change people's minds on this place. Only the people who live here though. Everyone else outside can
yeah, please don't move here.
Yeah,
they're starting to get traffic already,
bro. I'm saying K during rush hour is fucking awful.
The traffic in town, the traffic to town, like the freeways are starting to get.
14.
And I'm like,
we're gonna need a couple more lanes.
But like I'm just like sick of people like acting like there's nothing out here. There's no opportunity. There's nothing to do. Like there's like you have shit. It's just you fucking turn your blind eye to it. But like you and then on top of that, like as soon as somebody makes it out of here and like really big, like there are obviously like your Paul Georges and like the handful of people that
fuck Paul George
that do make it out, but like when someone like makes it out in like mainstream entertainment and hits like that bright limelight and then reps this place, those people who are talking shit are gonna fucking go right back on their word.
Yeah, dude.
And it's gonna be so annoying.
Palmdale.
Oh yeah, that's where I'm from. It's from. I'm from there too.
It's just bandwagoning. Everybody likes to bandwagon.
Yeah, you're right.
100%. And so like that's why I love that you like rep that shit, that you like incorporate it into your album artwork and shit. It's just fucking great.
So I guess this is a perfect time to talk about the album.
Hell yeah, let's talk about it.
It's basically like an ode to Palmdale in a sense.
I'll be bumping it.
Yeah. God, I don't know where to start. Okay, I'll start. No, this is perfectly.
Do you have the name of it?
Yeah, dude, it's fucking CA25.
CA25.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's our congressional district, California's 25th district.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That's dope.
Well, Antelope Valley, Simi Valley, and Santa Clarita. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's named after our fucking congressional district.
That's dope.
I produced all the beats.
I saw that. I saw you did all the production on it.
Yeah, dude. So
that's
like
fucking sick.
Yeah, so it's been a process like learning how to beat make, I guess. Like I got my like first little keyboard when I was probably I was in like high school still. Like my grandpa brought me like a keyboard, and then I just like illegally downloaded some program, and so I was like making beats or whatever, but I wasn't really good at it. And then I had my song Hotz Doctrine on my Meditations album. That was the only one that I produced, and that was like cool. It was okay. And so I always knew that I wanted to name an album CA25, and I always knew that I wanted to have all of my beats on it because when I turned 17, in fact, on my 17th birthday, I dropped a song called 17.
Nice.
And,
following the ages, I see.
Yeah, finally 15, 17. No, but yeah, so I dropped that song, and that was like the first beat that I ever made and rapped over.
Hell yeah.
And so I was like, okay, yeah, this will be the single for my album CA25. When will it come out? I don't know. Hopefully soon, when I learn how to make some beats. And so here we are, like 5 years later. I'm 22. True. I know how to like put together a song. And I think my life changed making beats when I found out that like the snare is supposed to go on the third beat. Like, that shit literally changed my life because I've never had a problem like coming up with melodies or anything, but the drums have always been the hardest thing for me, producing. Yeah. And so, okay, you know where your snare's at all the time. And it's like, all right, I just got to build like a kick, maybe some percussions, a couple hi-hats.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's been a process learning how to produce.
But you got your whole album on you.
Yeah. So whole album produced by myself.
Produced and mastered by you as well?
No, I let my friend John Tay, shout out to John Tay, he handles all the recording and mastering just because I'm not there yet. Yeah. Last time I recorded myself, I was on Audacity with the Guitar Hero microphone. This guy uses like Pro Tools and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So you produced the beats.
Yep.
And you recorded the vocals yourself?
Yeah. Well, my friend does the recording and like the engineering. Yeah, he like does all the engineering, recording, and mastering or whatever.
Yeah, but all the ideas are strictly from you.
Yeah,
like
100%.
all the writings from you.
No, I gotta be fake. There's this one song that's a cover of this song. It's called Reckless Love. I don't know if you guys love Jesus or not. It's this song that I heard because my school's like a Christian school or whatever.
You go to fucking
a Christian school.
I want to say Pepperdine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's by the beach or whatever.
Yeah. In Malibu.
So yeah, they love God there, and so I was at they have like weekly like Bible study and like worship at one of the professors' houses, which is pretty cool. Tight knit community. But they sang the song "Reckless Love," and I'm like, oh, this shit slaps. But it would sound like 10 times harder with some 808s.
I'm about to make Jesus go hard.
Oh God! Like Jesus, you need the bass boosted. Like so yeah. I got a cover of "Reckless Love" on there. That's the only song that I guess I didn't write, but I made the beat, and the beat's cool. Like, oh God, that beat is like one of my favorite beats. There's this song by Kid Cudi off his latest album, It's called Flight at First Sight, the song. I tried to like recreate that. And it doesn't sound anything like the song because I don't know how to fucking make beats like Kid Cudi and Pharrell. But it sounds like a poor man's version of Flight at First Sight. And so I think the combination of that beat with the lyrics about Jesus or whatever is gonna be fire.
Okay, hell yeah. Do you know where you're putting that in the album? Are you like putting it at the end?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the track list. I'm pretty sure I got like everything. Okay, so it's track 7. It's like right in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When's it dropping?
I have no idea.
Oh shit.
Hot Scholar 2.
Yeah.
That would be fucking dope.
I wanted to do it like a week before the Hot Scholar 2. So if everything goes right, the album will come out July 19th and the gala will be July 27th.
Shit.
But I don't know. That's an ideal world. I still have like 5 more songs to record. Like everything's written. I just have to record.
You said July.
Yeah, this is like next week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the studio on Friday to like finish up these 2 songs that I started working on last Friday, and then hopefully the following week I bust out those 3 songs. Like recording for me is not that hard, just because like the way I write, and then like once I write a song, like I'll just rap it all day to myself until I record it, if that makes any sense.
Damn, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so like traditionally, I guess I sit down and like write bars, but being in law school, I don't have time to sit down and write raps. So what I was doing, like once I had like some of the beats, like sure I'd still be making the beats, but the ones that I had completed, like I would just throw that on repeat, and I would like listen to it on my commute to and from school. and then I would just like freestyle, and I'd have like my little voice memo recording going, and then I would just try to like drop some
pick and choose from there.
Yeah, exactly. So like one day I was on the 101 southbound coming home from school, and I got this beat on. The beat we now know is Super Bad Youth in Revolt.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like spitting to it, and then out of nowhere I said, Michael Cera, I'm a Super Bad Youth in Revolt. And I was like, hold up, stop the car. How the fuck did that happen? That shit was genius. And so because I play the Bluetooth music off of my phone, I can't listen to it and record, so I had to like immediately stop the song, pull up the voice memos, and then spit it.
Go to it?
Yeah, and then I just do that so I don't forget something. And yeah, I like usually I'll try to like build a song off of that. So like, okay, I have one line, I'll just freestyle until I get like a next line that sounds cohesive. And then sometimes if I don't know what the fuck happens in these last 4 bars, like I'll just sit down and try to write something, but that's like real quick.
Dude, that's such a good fucking balance though. Like it's so dope that you can like just like work with what comes straight off the dome and then also have like
dude,
your
and it like surprised me too, because like historically I'm pretty shitty at freestyling. Like
I was gonna ask like where do you think you're at with freestyling?
That's just a thing that I don't do, and still like I'm trash, but like sometimes I drop like a fire bar that ends up being like the chorus to a song.
Hell yeah. Dude, Joel and I have had our fair share of times where we're just playing beats on repeat in the car.
Yeah, dude,
and we're just freestyling. So and you have days, bro, where you are on fucking fire.
Yeah,
and
right?
you were just like bar after bar after bar. You can think like a bar or two ahead of yourself and you can just keep killing it.
Feeling it.
And then you have other days where like you cannot get your shit flowing.
And then I feel like freestyling isn't too far off from writing, because when you're writing, it's not like you plan what you're gonna write out, you know? I mean, you kind of do in a sense, like
it's just slower for freestyling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's all like off the top of your dome, like onto this sheet of pad that you're writing down.
One thing that I do know is I remember one of your songs that's like I think my favorite, and I heard it I think the first time at the Hot Scala.
Yeah.
And since then it's always been like my personal favorite.
Tight,
and
thanks.
It's the one where I'm trying to remember it correctly. The hook of it, you list out the seasons.
Oh, off day.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that song.
That shit, I remember hearing it and going, dude, this shit goes hard as fuck.
Dude,
and then I can. So for me, like real quick, there's like a threshold when it comes to like your friends making creative projects, and below that threshold is like, you know, I listen to this because like I support my friends and I want to like I want to support them and be good with them. And then there's like the threshold once you cross it where it would be like if I didn't know this person, I would still bang this shit, and that crosses the threshold.
Yeah, dude,
for me.
thanks. That one's special because that was the first time, well, I guess second time that I've like purchased a beat from like a producer online. You know, people like buy my beats. So I was like, all right, I'll buy this beat. Bought the beat, and I kind of did the same thing where like I wouldn't really write to it. I would like freestyle, but this time I think I feel like this was like last year before school maybe or something. But I had more time, so I would like freestyle when I was walking the dog and shit.
It was just totally caught my attention because I just got back from the bathroom as you were talking, and this is like a quick switch up. You had your nose pierced?
Yeah, I did. I had my nose pierced.
You had to take that out for work?
Nah, I got rid of it. It was, I had it in there for a while. I kind of miss it.
You know, like once I realized that Chance 3 was trash, I stopped. No,
it was. It's fucked up. It was in there for like a solid 2 years, and you just get tired of things.
So where does your inspiration for music mostly stem from?
All right, favorite artist of all time is Tyler the Creator.
I could have guessed that. I remember your old like look. You used to like modeled it,
and I guess he's one of the reasons why I knew I wanted to like produce my own shit, because he does everything himself. Like he produces, writes, fucking does all of his videos. Dude's got an entire fashion line. Like he's got a clothing store. Like
he's killing shit.
Yeah, it's all out of his brain. So I'm like, if he can do it, like I can do it too. Like I got a pretty cool brain. So that guy for sure, number one. I'm a big Drake fan. And I'm only a Drake fan because I watched Degrassi when I was a kid.
That's
because I found out Drake made music on like I would download like Degrassi podcast from iTunes, and so on one of the episodes, he was like plugging his MySpace.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, let me go check this shit out. And at that time, he already had a song with Lil Wayne, and I'm like, oh, this guy must be doing it pretty big.
Damn.
And so yeah, so Drake always been a big influence. System of a Down, I'm a big fan for sure.
That's fucking.
Yeah, I've been listening to them since I was like maybe 9. Prodigy of Mobb Deep, and I guess Mobb Deep as a whole. Mobb Deep, they're like 90s rappers.
Yeah.
And I didn't find out about them until like this past fall, maybe. Because one of the members, Prodigy, he had died last June or 2 Junes ago, actually, 2017. Rest in peace. And so I was like doing the thing where people die and you like go check him out. Like, oh, people loved him. What am I missing? So I would listen to his solo work, and then I found out he was one half of an amazing duo. And I'm like, oh, these guys are pretty sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was on like a Mobb Deep binge, like fall of 2018.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot too, because there's so much music that exists from like before my time. So like I remember the summer I found out Eminem existed. That shit changed my life, dude.
Yeah.
That shit changed my life.
When did you find out that he existed?
This had to be like 2013 summer.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You were like late.
I knew Eminem existed, and I
Did you know about Slim Shady at the time or no?
One of the first CDs I ever had was it was the Eminem Show. But that was like the only Eminem that I ever listened to. So I went back and like listened to like Slim Shady and like Marshall Mathers LP.
Yeah.
That shit was pretty mind blowing.
Dude, you got quite the fucking diverse like inspiration coming to you.
Yeah.
You got to use the bathroom. You use the bathroom. You can say, I totally fucking just got up in the middle of the conversation.
We slip out because we can slip out whenever the fuck we need to. That's the cool thing about co-hosting is when you slip out, I just pick up wherever I need to. And then when I slip out, you can just pick up wherever.
Except when you're co-hosting just with us two. That's a fucking shit
it's like,
show.
hey, you want to drop a monologue real quick?
Wait, did I ever leave you to do that on your own?
Yeah, I think you did. I think
I never listened back on it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know if you ever left any like sweet little nothings for me.
Yeah, I probably did, and you'll probably never hear them. So.
Never hear it unless I like randomly tune back in.
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. Oh shit, dude! I am fucking drained, and I think it's the sun. I think it's like when it gets hot, dude. I get tired fast.
Yeah, it takes energy out of you for sure.
Like doing that shoot with our friend today. Oh, I don't give a fuck. Doing that shoot with Jaina. We were sitting out in the sun, and I remember just standing there. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking hot!" Like, I'm sweating fucking balls right now.
July, baby.
And I had to wear I have a knee brace now.
Oh, you old ass man!
I was playing basketball the other day, and I think I actually tore it this time. Like my knee.
Damn,
no, because like it's always been torn.
Yeah.
And the doctors like told me like, "Oh, we can't do anything about this right now. You're too young, and you're still growing." Now I can have the surgery, I think. But I played basketball for about 2.5 minutes and
fucking God.
Stepped the wrong way, and I just felt this slip, and I was like, oh, there it goes. That's it. I couldn't even walk. It feels like there's a ball underneath my kneecap now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it feels good.
Fuck.
So with that knee brace, it was definitely even hotter. But
bad.
So back on my inspiration.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to get to like your album and where you're currently at, and I do want to touch into politics.
Okay, yeah. Wait, I can't forget Pharrell.
Okay.
Pharrell, just because like he influenced Tyler so much, so I wanted to like see who the fuck this guy was that like influenced my idol or whatever.
Yeah.
Pharrell's got some great shit, and then Kanye, dude. Kanye's a goat. I don't know.
Kanye
can't really
old Kanye.
Dude, he's got some. I can't even put it into words how good his music is. Like I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, he has like a characteristic to him that you don't find anywhere else.
There's that shit of him in the desert with all those fucking people recording those new whatever he's recording out there.
Like the choir?
Yeah, with the choir, and he's playing the keyboard.
Dude.
I was like, that shit's gonna go fucking hard, whatever that is.
So cool.
One of my favorite things about Kanye is his usage of just like the human voice, whether that be as ad libs or in the beats themselves.
It's so so unique and
it's just so
flawless almost.
It's like the way that he like mixes all of his music together using vocals with his beats, using vocals in the background like with choirs and stuff. It just like adds that magical element to it. Like The Life of Pablo had so much like choir shit in it, and it just fucking hit.
I never actually got into his music. Like got into it. I mean,
like,
I know
you know his hits,
whatever the fucking one with the little bear.
It's like me with Eminem.
Yeah.
Like I never even got into.
When you go to listen to all of his music, you'll be surprised.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of things. I would guarantee there's probably about 90%, maybe 85% of his music I've never heard. Dude, a lot of people actually.
You're in such a good position because there's like so much of it to enjoy. Like once you finally like sit down and check it out.
See, the thing with stuff like that is, growing up, I didn't care for rap. Like my whole view on music was strictly one sound, which was just basically like metal and rock, like within that realm. And then once I got out of high school, it kind of expanded more to like rap and like indie music and different stuff like that.
We're still warming you up to country.
I will never touch that fucking horse shit sounding fucking music. That's not music. The new country, whatever the fuck that is now, is not music. That's just trash.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, that's fine. To each their own. But I can't like I'll listen to, I don't know, I just can't get into rap that heavily.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like for some reason Kendrick hit differently with me. I would listen to all of Kendrick's stuff, but there was something about Kendrick, J. Cole, and Mac Miller. Those were about the main three. Yeah. But those were the three that like I got into.
Right.
Especially what's J. Cole's fucking not Dreamville? What's the
2014 Forest Hills
Thank
Drive?
You. That's
every white person's favorite
album.
I'm not even gonna front. It's every white person's favorite album.
It was so fucking good because that was, I think, one of the first like rap albums that I heavily got into. Like, oh shit!
Yeah, pretty solid project.
It's fucking good.
Platinum,
no, like
platinum, no features.
Yeah, exactly. J. Cole with. I forgot about that meme.
Little known fact: J. Cole and Platinum, no features.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys are familiar.
That shit was under.
Nobody talks about it, which is crazy.
Yeah, just totally under the radar.
Y'all not ready for that conversation.
I'm so fucking lost.
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but like Forest Hills Drive, Good Kid, Mad City. Those are like the white people Hall of Fame rap albums.
That's funny.
Like there's probably more that you could think of like off the top, but like there's just those few like I don't know why, but it's that consistent pattern like all the fucking time.
Same demographic.
Yeah, it is. And like don't get me wrong, like I like a lot of rap, but I still fall into that category too of like, oh yeah, 2014 Horse Hills Drive is so fucking good. Like, but like. Yeah, there's from what I noticed, it takes almost like different mentalities to get into different subgenres of rap. Mm-hmm. Like you can't be thinking the same shit you think when you listen to J. Cole as when you listen to like Migos or you listen to like
I was like so, I guess, anti-mumble rap.
Bro, I was
and then I just felt left out because everybody was listening to it. And I'm like, you know what? Let me stop being a judgmental dickhead and just listen to the music, I guess. Yeah. And some of it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'd say the beats are about it. Like, for me, personally, still can't fucking stand that shit. I won't get into it.
See, like, for me, like, a lot of it, you almost have to take like as a joke. You can't take it like as like, oh, like this is serious, like, you know, like musical art that needs to be like analyzed and broken down and everything. Like you kind of have to take it as like, this is how it sounds.
You just have to like, you have to like feel it and enjoy it.
Yeah. You have to kind of like turn off that like critical thinking, that like logical like 100%. Switch. You have to completely turn it off, and that's coming from me.
Because if that shit is on, you'll be like, oh, turn this garbage off.
Exactly. Like I had a very hard adjustment period getting into Migos, and I got into them with Joel like in 2012, like way before they blew up. So they blew up twice. They blew up with Drake on and Versace. Yeah, and then they blew up again.
I had a remix to that song.
I think I remember that shit. But then they blew up again, but this time like on their own. Yeah, I would say like right before Culture. But like right around 2012 was when I got into them, and I had such a struggle getting into this type of rap because I was like, dude, it's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's
like,
so repetitive.
Where's the meaning? Like, why do people enjoy
this?
There's
nothing behind it. Like, what the fuck? And I remember Joel turning to me and he's like, I don't actually want to shoot people or sell drugs, right? Like, I don't actually like mean the shit that I'm rapping along with. Like, everybody can listen to rap music and really get into it and then not mean a goddamn word that they rap along to.
I mean, it's the same thing as comedy. Just because you listen to dark comedy doesn't mean you follow it. And I get that.
So like you turn that aspect on when listening to it and you go, oh shit, like this shit is hard. I
just think the mumble rap in general just sounds like shit. I just think it just doesn't sound good. Like I can't get into it because I can't stand the actual like noises that they're making because a lot of it just is noises.
That's why it's all like the mentality of it is like it takes literally like different mentalities for different subgenres. Yeah, and once those are on, then you're able to like really turn off certain aspects that make you hate it and leave on the ones that make you like it.
Right.
And I've noticed that with like I have this personal opinion of music, and it's like I gain nothing from hating a certain type of music. I don't like my life doesn't enhance itself. I don't get any better off, and the only way that I see myself like enhancing my enjoyment of music is to find a way to like as much music as I can, as many different varieties of it. And so like I used to not get into rap. I used to not get into screamo. I used to not get into country. Any of that shit.
Dude,
I was like, turn it off.
I used to hate EDM.
I'm still finding my way into EDM.
No, dude, I love it. It's cool.
I'm finding my way into it, but I want to like it. Like that's my thing is like,
you gotta be on drugs.
That's what I hear. I talked to my coworker about it today.
And then afterwards you like listen to it and you're like, oh, you just start having flashbacks and shit. You're like, yeah, that was a good time. Like, oh.
Yeah, that's what he said because we were talking about this actually exact topic where we were saying like, oh, it's cool to get into a bunch of different genres of music. And I was like, my one I can't get into yet is EDM. I just can't find my taste in it. I have a few select artists that I really like, but like besides that, I can't really do it. And he's like, you really need some help from some chemicals to get into EDM. And I was
basically
like, yeah, it makes sense. But that's like my whole moral of it is just like, I used to be like, fuck this genre of music. Right. I'm not about it. It's trash. It's like always trash. Every part of it's trash.
Yeah.
And I think once I got into screamo and rap roughly around the same time, I was like, I have been missing out on so much enjoyment.
I feel
in this entire spot.
I feel like people are afraid, I guess, that they're lowering their standards by listening to like some shit like the Migos or something. Rap. Yeah, because I get into debates about this all the time with my friend. He's like 30 or whatever, and he's like, you kids listen to that garbage music. And I'm like, bro, like you grew up with like Nas. Like, of course you think Nas fucking Quavo is stupid.
Yeah, exactly, because you're comparing.
Yeah, but like, at a certain point, you just don't want to get like left out. Like, people are going to continue to make music and make new types of music. Like, you should probably give it a chance.
Yeah, and my thing is I see people not just like fronting that they like this music, but genuinely getting enjoyment out of it. And I just go, what am I missing here?
Right. Like,
I'm probably missing something. And then once I find it and I get into that genre that I used to hate, whatever it be, I then find so much more music that I fall in love with and go, shit, I was missing out on this whole time. Imagine how much more I could have liked if I liked it earlier. Or I'm so glad I like it now because then there's these new artists dropping all this new stuff that I'm so hyped for that old me would have hated or not given a shit about. So each time I add a genre, each time I get more and more into it, like I have a classical music playlist that I fucking love.
Dude, that's the only thing I study to. Like either that.
You can study that shit so well.
I either go to like my like classical playlist or like there's this movie soundtrack playlist that I love, or I go to Kingdom Hearts piano collection. It's usually my go-to. That shit is beautiful.
Yeah, and so once you get your taste for each one, even if it's a little bit, like some genres you're going to have staples and other genres you're going to have just dabbles.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get that, then you can flick it on to any certain
this is where
situation.
I agree to say that like you can probably find something in each genre that you will attach to, that you'll actually enjoy. But to shut down an entire genre, which first of all, like genres are weird because now things are just kind of starting to bleed into each other.
Yeah.
Like, yes, obviously you still have
is really changing the game.
Yeah, dude.
Like you have rap and
I don't
you
even
have
think
country.
that should be like considered a hip hop album, but
Right. And that's my point is that that's kind of all over the place. I mean, he's on rock charts, hip hop, rap. He's on all different charts. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that you should necessarily hate an entire genre. But when it comes down to country, I also believe that you don't have to be.
He's like, here's the one genre that I hate.
I don't think you necessarily have to be open to literally everything. And that's my opinion. You have yours, but it's more along the lines of like, you like what you like. And that's the bottom line.
I agree. And
like there are some country songs genuinely that I've heard. There's probably I wouldn't say a handful. I'd probably about a handful that would be considered country. Some that are for sure country. I'm like, okay, that's good. Like I can get behind that. But the majority of it, I'm just there's nothing there for me, like at all. Yeah. I've listened to song after song, and there's just nothing there. Old country for that.
There's certain things when it comes to not just music, but also food and drink that like you have to acquire a taste for. You almost have to like kind of put yourself through discomfort and not enjoying it in order to find enjoyment at the end of it. And that's how I was with Screamo. That's how I was with some rap. And that's how I was with country. And it's the same way that I was with coffee. Like I used to hate coffee.
Oh, dude,
used to
me
not
too.
be able
I
to drink
love that
coffee, and it is sweet.
It's like a necessity now.
It is so good, and like I would drink
that shit black,
dude. I would drink it even without the caffeine boost, even without like needing to be productive. I would just if I sat down and was like, oh, some coffee just sounds great.
Some coffee with schmack.
Yeah, exactly, and I'd go for it and
grind my beans.
And,
Jesus Christ.
And I wouldn't have been able to do that earlier in my life. I could not have done that. Same thing with beer. I enjoy the taste of beer now, and I used to hate it.
Both drugs.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that'll play a role. But even like regular foods, you can get yourself to enjoy more once you kind of get past that like rough bump in the middle. And once your standard is set where it is with that, then you like actually get the enjoyment to come after. My personal opinion is I gain nothing from hating it, so why not put myself through a little discomfort and then find some enjoyment at the end and then broaden my horizons. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, dude, my favorite, I guess, genre or decade, 80s pop.
Really?
Yeah, that's the best shit.
Dude.
One day I'm going to make an 80s pop album.
Oh my God, please. I think
Stranger Things... It'll probably be like 20, 25, but...
I think Stranger Things got me super heavy into that. Like,
I've never seen Stranger Things.
You would love the soundtrack.
Really?
You would love it. It's
I watched one episode and I was like, I don't know how I feel about it.
It's super like 80s synth based and everything.
Yeah,
like it has that like reverse snare and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's really good. So I think you, if you want like study music, I'd go look up their soundtrack. I think you'd like it.
Bet. I'll check that out.
But with that being said, is there anything else you want to touch on with like your upcoming album or your current state?
Oh
with
yeah.
rap?
Okay, so CA25, an album by J-Hotz, dropping sometime in July, maybe, possibly, TBD. It's got 12 songs. I guess technically 10. Maybe 9 songs and like an intro and like 2 skits somewhere in between.
Like interludes?
Yeah.
Do you have any features on it?
No features.
No features.
Yeah, J-Hotz went platinum with no features.
I was just gonna say that, goddamn.
Yeah, no features. Basically, I wanted to make an album for like people from the Antelope Valley.
Hell yeah.
Because
you came to the right platform to talk about it.
Yeah, because like, okay, sure, I could rap about like being a millionaire or whatever, fucking bitches, and like in my AP bust down.
Yeah, all that shit.
I don't do none of that shit. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But what I do and what I have done is smoke weed in Marie Kerr Park, drive down Rancho Vista. I just talk about the shit that I can relate to, and I know you guys and
I'm
people from out here can relate to. You know, like,
shit, dude.
Like, okay, maybe Sean in Kansas doesn't know where the fuck Marie Kerr Park is, but I don't give a fuck about Sean from Kansas.
There are people who listen to a Tribe Called Quest have no idea where El Segundo is, and they still rap along to it.
That's exactly what I want to talk about next. I feel like rappers are good at letting you know where they're from.
Yeah,
and there's like nobody except for, I guess, Afro Man, who they're from Palmdale.
That repped it.
Like, yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna be that guy. And then especially once I found out about Mobb Deep this past fall, when I was in the process of like building this album, they shout out Queensbridge like every single song. So I was like, I'm gonna just shout out the Antelope Valley every single song. Like,
yeah, dude, I love that shit. There's a fucking there's a lyric by NWA on one of their songs, and I think it's off the album that like got famous off of, or not got famous. It's off the album that the movie was centered around.
Yeah,
and there's a song on there called something like that. And in there, they say...
that's the song title?
Yeah, it's called something like that, because he said...
Because you made a noise before that.
Like something like that. Like, I don't know.
It's called something like that. And I think Ice Cube in it says, like, oh, we're gonna call this one, Tell Him What Your Name Is. And Dr. Dre was like, yeah, something like that. And that was the name of the song. And in there, he says something about how it's not hard to rap. You just got to tell... You got to tell people like who you are, what your name is, and where you're from, and like what you're about or whatever.
Yeah, dude. I
think
guess
that plays into anything though.
That's true.
And he was like, and it was specifically on the topic of like not fronting about all the bullshit.
Yeah, wow.
And really just
that's exactly the approach I took to this album.
And that's usually what makes the best shit.
Yeah, dude.
And so what I was getting at with that point of just like it's the same thing with this podcast. Same thing with rap music, same thing with any type of creative project is like, as long as it's authentic, it's about you, you make it about you. You don't have to talk about like bullshit that you don't have. As long as it comes off as like it's your character, it comes off great with people.
I'm so tired of like listening to music from people and I'm like, oh, dude, you're lying. This bar is a lie. This is not true. You're lying. Like,
dude, you know how often I like get nails on chalkboard vibes from listening to Nav and going, bro, you aren't putting hits out on people's heads. You aren't fucking bitches like every day when you look like that.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
You're probably paying for pussy.
Yeah. Facts.
And his performances are mid.
Yeah.
And so I hear that shit and I can't get into it. I just can't. That's dude, that was a big thing for me.
Never listen to Nav.
Yeah, I can't fuck with Nav at all. Yeah. And that was a big thing for me with 21 Savage when he first came out. I was just like, I can't get the vibe that he's actually about half the shit he says.
Right.
Where he's like, what? Like bars where, I'm supposed to be turning the switch off, but sometimes I hear shit and I'm just like,
help.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I know you can't.
Like, come
you're
on,
not
bro.
actually
You did not
that.
catch 26 bodies in 1 week.
You don't have a 12 car garage.
You should be in jail, sir. Like,
exactly. And then there's rappers like The Game where I hear him and go, oh no, he definitely killed someone. he definitely killed somebody. And so when there's that difference, the biggest part of it is because you can tell who's about what they say and who isn't. And so, like you said, why rap about shit that you're not actually about?
Yeah,
if you become that, then rap about it.
I would like literally never kill somebody, so you will never hear me talking about like killing people.
You work at a courthouse.
Yeah, like come on.
Exactly.
How realistic would it be if I drop bars about like fucking bitches and drinking lean and shooting people and doing a drive-by at the same time?
Yeah.
That's a lot at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's impressive.
Okay, maybe I'll change that to like getting head while I'm sipping lean and doing a drive-by.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The sex made it a little
just
realistic.
Nothing else.
Album though, yeah, so it's like, I guess it's like a rap album. I'm singing on like 3 songs.
You're singing?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like singing.
I try, like I don't know.
You have autotune help you out on that one?
Nah, fuck that.
Really?
Fuck that. Yeah, nah.
Damn, that's dope.
There's this one song, and it's my attempt to make an 80s pop song. As of right now, it's
no way.
Yeah,
you got me hyped for this shit.
As of right now, it's track 6. It's called Passenger Seat. That's probably gonna be the hardest to record, just because I don't really know how to sing. So like, but yeah, there's a mix of everything. I got some hard bars. Like I opened it up with just like some bars. and then go into more like playful shit.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a personal favorite on there? One that you were making where you were like, I know this is some fucking heat.
Nah, it's like choosing like a favorite child. How I would imagine. I don't have kids, but nah, just because I've like put so much hard work into it. But I guess if I had to like
choose a favorite child?
Like a favorite, like the beat for Superbad Youth in Revolt, when I made that, I was like, oh.
Dude,
oh no!
I like that shit.
Like I listen to that sometimes, and I'm like, "How the fuck did I make this?"
I was impressed, especially when you said that you made it. I was like,
dude. And that fun fact about that beat, probably the quickest beat that was made on this entire project. Given that it's like 1 minute and 40 seconds long, but I went to church, and then I came home from church. I just opened up Ableton, and I made a beat. I literally I titled the beat at first, like before adding lyrics. It was called "Church in the Future."
That's the most Kanye shit I think I've ever heard you say.
that was the title of the beat. So yeah, no, I think that beat is one of the highlights.
Church in the Future. And
then I guess like maybe if I had to choose a favorite song. There's this song on there called 100, which is like fire because like the beat is fire too, and then it's like some like hard bars on there, which I think is nice. So I guess like taken together as a whole, that might be my favorite. But the beat on Superbad Youth in Revolt for sure is my favorite shit that I've ever done.
Any nerves with releasing this at all?
Yeah, dude. Sometimes, like today, I tweeted like I might not drop an album this much just because it's a little nerve wracking. Like. I don't know, just because like you work so hard on something and then you kind of gotta like give it up and give it to the world.
Yeah,
but it's like a nice feeling too.
If there's one song on there that you think is gonna like resonate with people for either just like a hit or something that's just gonna hit like feelings or heartstrings or anything at all, even if it's just like pure adrenaline, what's one that you think is gonna hit people the most?
Probably this song Dane Cook, because like there's maybe like a 2-second intro and then I just start rapping.
Okay.
Because that shit like it like smacks you in the face.
Okay.
And there's like a lot of AV bars on that one too.
I'm gonna have to give this a run through.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the fucking AV references. Like, there's one thing to hear LA references. You're like, oh, I know where Highland Park is. Right. But like when you hear someone say Marie Kerr, you're like, that's my fucking spot.
Exactly. So yeah, maybe Dane Cook. There's this one that I hope people enjoy. It's called Bang for My Buck. It's like about being trash, basically. Like I wrote it. I was inspired by like the week I turned 21 because I was like drunk for 2 weeks straight. Like,
yes.
Like literally every day I would just go drink. I was like, fuck it, I can. Why not?
That's fucking
so,
awesome.
So yeah, so that song is like, I guess probably like the most like ignorant, stupid shit I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it's fun. Like I hope people like it. Let me see. The one where I'm like singing this song called The Girl I Met at Echo Stage. That shit is fire. It's like, I guess like I wrote it where like you could listen to it and think I'm like talking about some bitch, but I'm totally not. I'm talking about like the first time I tried Molly at Echo Stage.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's a complete like
that's a good title for it.
I love the fact that you wrote something that people can interpret a different way.
Yeah. And I didn't want to title the song North Carolina Molly. So I was like, you know what, I'll do The Girl I Met at Echo Stage. Because the Molly was from North Carolina, and the Echo Stage was like the place where I tried it or whatever.
Yeah. That's dope.
I love that. Yeah. I love that shit when everybody's so sure a song's like dedicated to a certain person and it's an inanimate like, object.
Dude, never mind.
No,
not for here.
Not for here. He's like, I incriminated myself too much already.
Yeah. The introduction song is this track called New Testament Flow. And it's probably the oldest song. I actually I recorded it in like 2017 when I was like fresh off my Meditations album.
Yeah.
But I just never did anything with it. So when I was making this album, I took it and then I kind of like reworked it. Like I kept the chorus, but I like changed like the end of the second verse and I like changed the beginning of the first verse, kind of like tweaked it a little or updated it. And I think that one's pretty cool. I hope people like that. I
will
feel
you get will the listeners get like meditations vibes from that one since it's so close to the album?
No, because it's a beat that I made. And so everything else was like DBS produced. So it's like, it doesn't sound like it belongs there at all, which is pretty cool. But I'm just worried because I feel like people don't like rap. Like
people are just super fucking critical of anything.
No,
though.
like I feel like people are like stupid, not to like insult anybody, but like people don't listen to like bars. They don't like listen for bars.
Oh, so people just go for the aesthetic of rap.
Yeah, or for like the beat or whatever. Like I was talking to my best friend Gabby, and this was like a couple weeks ago. Drake, he just dropped those 2 songs. Did you guys listen?
I listened to them like once.
Okay, well, he dropped 2 songs.
Right
One's
after
like,
the Raptors.
One's like some obvious like party banger shit, and then like another, he's just like spitting and some.
No. I've heard one of them a bunch.
Bars.
Yeah.
Hard ass bars.
When I die, put my money in the grave.
Yeah, that's the one. No,
but
So I was talking to Gabby about it, and she was like, I don't know, I just don't like the other one, and I'm like, dude, there's clearly like far better bars, like, and she was just like, he's talking too much.
Shit. Yeah. That's what rap's turned into?
Yeah, dude. I'm just worried people would be like, oh, what is this guy? But I chose that to be the first song because like I'm a rapper. So, okay, look, I got to show you I can like rap or whatever.
Yeah. It's like being on like Sway in the Morning or some shit.
Exactly.
You're like,
and then we can get into like the fun shit after that.
It's funny because people within the genre of music that I mostly listen to, like heavy metal and whatnot, and it's like considered quote unquote post-hardcore, where it's just like singing, the lyrics mean the most. Like, yes, obviously the breakdowns are always great for people and the sing-alongs are fun, but it's the lyrics that people get tattooed on them.
Yeah,
so it's that genre where people listen to the lyrics, and then you go to rap and it's like it could be a hard-ass fucking bar and no one gives a shit.
It sucks.
And
they're like,
dude,
the beat slap, no, bro. Like, come on.
I didn't hear anything about a Patek in there.
Do you know Tim, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so his music, that dude has to break it down to me every single time because he has like, he'll talk about 18 different things in like 6 sentences. I don't even know what the fuck he's saying.
Rap is like a technical skill.
Bar after bar after bar with him. Like he goes head to head with people all the time and can outbar them. But I don't understand his shit. When it's a reference that I do get, which I think a lot of popular rap does that, where they can make it very personal and then like you can feel it that way, or a relatable topic that nearly everybody in the world knows. Yeah, that's where it hits for me.
Yeah, I feel
but if it's something like with Tim, it will be about anime, portals, and cars, and then like an automobile that was created in 1978, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And you said that in a span of 3 seconds.
It's crazy. It's real crazy.
That's why I like Childish Gambino so much, is because his shit is intricate as fuck. And you sit down to listen to like Childish Gambino or like Lil Dicky, he has some shit.
Have you seen his latest Sway freestyle?
I think I did.
Really good,
dude. Yes, I remember.
Where he pulls out the flowers and he's like, Heather, I brought you flowers. Dude, he's fucking genius. I don't know how he does that shit.
He's undefeated in my opinion. I love him. But same thing with Childish Gambino. You listen to like some of his older shit, like Campfire, shit like that, dude. And he has bars. He has bars in there
for days
where like.
Should have hit you like years after.
Yes, I'll be driving in my car years after. I'll be like, I'm gonna be like, act me like a Looney Tune. Like act me and I'm
that's the type of shit that I love.
Yeah, and then I like get a new obsession over the song again because I found a new fucking hidden bar.
One of the first Drake songs that I heard, the one I was talking about earlier, Ransom with Lil Wayne. He had this bar. I didn't get it until like 10 years later. Literally, like I just got that shit, bro. He says, Betty felt that like the end of a pool cue, and I'm like, oh, like felt at the end of a pool cue.
Shit! Dude, so Lil Wayne's like that too, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Lil Wayne can rap circles around motherfuckers.
Lil Wayne's got fucking dude. It's just incredible what that dude can do.
Yeah, he
like
has,
his most recent album. I was listening to. I couldn't even keep up. I had to pause after every song. Like, what the fuck
was that? The Carter 5?
Yeah, and it's crazy. He's been doing it for so long. Like, you would think he would run out of shit to talk about.
No. And on top of that, he doesn't fucking write any of it.
I know.
That's so fucking nuts, dude.
He's like,
I just get in the studio and just go. Like,
God, that shit's crazy, dude. I wish
the fucking videos of him where he has this like little styrofoam lean cup, takes a sip of it, and just goes. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
What the fuck is in your juice, bro? Like, pass me that shit.
He was on either Kimmel or Ellen when he was talking about how he doesn't write any of his shit and how he was backstage trying to memorize his own lyrics of a song that he had made already before. Yeah.
That's so
because he had to perform it.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know what I wrote because I freestyle everything. So I had to learn my own song before I went and performed my own song.
That shit is crazy.
There's a video that I saw today of a dude rapping on the side of the street with like a couple of his friends, and they were playing the instruments. He had the mic, and Common showed up and was just watching him.
Okay,
and the dude's fucking going like he's spitting bar after bar about things that are happening around him.
That's so hard.
And then Common picks up the mic and starts rapping with him.
That's
dude, you guys have to watch it. It's the flow from both of them is fucking immaculate. And then they start trading off at the very end.
Dude. I saw some shit about Common on the timeline, but I was like, oh fuck Common, I'm not gonna listen.
No, it was
Maybe
dope.
I'll check it out.
It was dope, and because of the fact that he just stopped, like he was front row, like there was people standing in like the half circle, and front row, he's standing there by himself right next to the kid, just bobbing his head, just okay. I was like, dude, this is so sick.
I love shit like that, and I totally get what you mean, Hotz, when you're saying that you feel like people don't get into like hip hop the way that they get into other shit because you have the flow and the lyrics and the intricacy and the meaning behind all the shit, and it seems to have kind of just been washed out of the mainstream picture a lot of the times. Kendrick still has, a good grip on it. Drake still has a good grip on it, and like the big goats have their pedestals, but trying to work your way up into the limelight or like gain credibility, you have to kind of follow whatever's hot and new, and that shit is not lyrical masterpieces. It's just fronting all the fucking time.
Yeah, so definitely frustrating.
Isaiah Rashad, he has a bar talking about that, and he says like, ain't no getting money on that conscious shit. I'ma just load my gat on some survival shit. And I think that's him talking about like, you can't really just be like so like, I guess woke and like try to appeal to like the hardcore like rap listener because that shit don't get you paid.
Yeah, exactly. It's not what's palatable.
Yeah. Great word choice.
With that being said, I do want to touch on your politics. I think that's a huge like aspect to you and a huge like
something light. I guess I'm a political scientist now with my degree or whatever.
Shit, that's fucking cool.
Add that to my resume.
Where you land on the political spectrum surprises a lot of people off first impression, I would assume.
Yeah.
And
I guess I'm like, I've been called far right. Like somebody called me a Nazi one time.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because like, dude, like I'm just moderately right wing.
yeah, you're agreeable. Yeah,
but anything that's not like super far left is automatically like Hitler. So
yeah. And that's one of the things I notice is like on Twitter, you'll get a decent amount of traction when you like throw a political opinion out there.
Yeah,
you'll have like almost like fans in the comments where people are like responding to you. They're like, oh, J-Hotz, like you this is exactly what I'm talking about. These libs don't get it or some shit like that.
I've reached a point where like I have like, I guess a lot of old white followers now.
You do, and they always interact with you. And then the very next tweet is, "Go listen to my new single."
Yeah, oh my god, it's a solid balance. I remember recently this fool, this dude's name was Ian, middle-aged white guy. I like tweeted about my single, and I noticed he followed me, and then he like replied. He was like, "Oh, just listen here in the UK, blah blah blah, watching a football game," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, this is the type of audience I have, but I don't know how it's gonna fare well when I drop my album, but
yeah. No, I think it'll be cool but
those people support, which is cool.
Yeah, and you'll get people feeling like they know this area because of your album, like they're a local.
Yeah, exactly.
But what caused you to end up being more like leaning more Republican than Democrat? Because I'm so curious to where that came up.
Anytime I will always say my intro to logic class, spring semester, freshman year at Cal State Northridge.
Really?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a upbringing. It wasn't like a thing you were exposed to in your youth. I guess.
Well, not like upbringing, but like it was like early 2015, and then like right after that class, like Trump came out, and I fuck with Trump a lot. So like it was like a combination of like intro to logic and like Trump. But I feel like when I took intro to logic, it kind of like opened my eye up to another way of thinking almost.
Yeah.
So we're like. Most people every day, super emotional, you know, whining, complaining and shit. Like after my first semester, I took like an Africana studies class, and bro, I hated white people after that shit. I swear to God. No, I swear, dude. I was like, oh yeah, fuck America. Like capitalism is bad, dude. Patriarchy, bro. White supremacy. and I took intro to logic, and I'm like, oh well, that shit. It's just jargon to like, I guess, keep me confused and emotionally manipulated. But yeah, my intro to logic class, and I got a bad grade in that class just because that shit is hard. I got like a C+, but it still like altered the way I was thinking. And then I'm pretty sure my professor was a Republican too. Like he never made it like obvious, but he would like say a little certain things and be like, "Oh, you're a funny guy." He was like joking about Obama one time.
Yeah, he when you can get when professors like frame
when they gotta like
certain ways,
tiptoe around the subject.
Yeah,
other professors are like, "Oh, fuck Trump." Like I remember after Trump got elected, I was taking a freaking intro to jazz class, and somehow the guy managed to
bring Trump up.
Yeah, like weave Trump into the subject.
Weird.
Yeah, like dude, this is a music class.
It doesn't surprise me though at all with the climate of things. Did you get into Trump when he was running or after he'd been elected?
Yeah, when he was running for sure. When I saw like him come down the escalator, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the guy.
Were you one of those people that didn't think he was going to get elected but supported him, or you were just out there like he's going to get president? Eat my words.
I fully supported him because I would never half-assedly support someone or like support someone if like I would only put my support behind somebody if I believed in them like fully. Mm-hmm. And if I believe in them fully, like I'm not going to be like, oh well, he might not. Like I'll be like, yeah, the dude's going to win. Like so what? Cry about it. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel again. This upcoming election, people are always like, oh yeah, bro, he's going down, and I'm like, dude. You said that, 2 years ago? Look who's president now.
I think people were more sure about him not getting elected than they are about him not getting reelected.
Yeah, for sure.
I think he has a much better chance with that than he did originally.
Yeah,
and he came out of the odds.
And he's like
originally.
Trump as a politician got to be like one of the most influential and like historical politicians ever, bro. Because
I agree.
Like
with that.
he took down like 16 other Republicans. And those are like top names in the party, like
professional
like
politicians.
Yeah, dude, like Jeb Bush, dad is a president, brother is a president.
Yeah.
Trump said you have low energy, Jeb, and that was it. That was it. Like or like people like Rick Scott, Chris Christie, like these are governors, these are senators.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, dude. Oh, him and Lion Ted, that was it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But yeah, these are like people he took down, and then after that, he had to face the Clinton establishment,
literally,
which, like, they kill people. like you can't, you gotta be like some sort of like evil genius to, develop a plan to beat Hillary Clinton, because it was essentially hers for the taking, like the presidency. Like,
oh, everyone thought it was a shoe.
And it wasn't just the Clinton machine. He had to take down the media too, because they were all in favor of her. Fucking Hollywood, like. Everybody who's in the media in general. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were all with her.
Yeah,
but Hillary thought it was a great idea to fucking not campaign in Wisconsin. So
eat her fucking words.
Thank her campaign staff for saying not to go to Wisconsin.
So obviously, I don't even need to say obviously.
Damn, I wonder how many people just turned off the podcast.
No, I think it's interesting, honestly.
Oh no, I'm not saying that it's not interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and say that probably a good. That's a handful, maybe two handfuls are probably like, oh, politics. And they just turn that shit off.
Whatever. With Trump being such a... this is actually a good transition, this topic right here. With Trump being such a hot topic for so long, people normally don't keep this type of media craze every day.
It's crazy.
Kim K can't even do this shit.
Yeah, dude.
And Trump is on the top of trending all the fucking time. With that being said, since you're someone who supports him and someone who's behind him, what would your message be to people who are absolutely against him, but are only really against him because everyone else is against him and they don't really know much about Trump? And so they're like, okay, why does this dude support him when like everybody else doesn't? What do you see that everyone else doesn't? And how can you convey that to them that they're maybe not seeing something the right way?
Well, I guess it's just, I want to say my ability to like see through the bullshit. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, I feel like anytime like everybody is doing something or everybody supports something, I always want to say like, why is everybody doing this?
You want to question it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's just because I'm like a dickhead or I'm like a contrarian or whatever.
I think it's being kind of being like a skeptic.
Yeah, exactly. So I like put on a different set of goggles and I'm like, why do people hate this guy? So I was like, why do people hate this guy? And I'm like, oh, the media hates this guy. And I'm like, who's the media? Oh, the media is like 90% run by 6 corporations. Oh, is it possible these people have an agenda? Like, these people are connected with politicians left and right. Oh, they're all in bed together. And I'm like, oh, it makes sense. They're fighting him because he wants to take them down, you know? So I think people just have to, people have to like not be afraid to stand out. Because I feel like a lot of people are like closet Trump supporters, and they just don't say it because they're scared of like being canceled getting, like, or whatever,
like publicly hanged.
Yeah,
socially.
Dude, like me, I'm the type of person who doesn't give a fuck. Like there's a big ass Trump sticker on my laptop.
Jesus Christ, dude!
I realized it because I had this like inner conflict. I'm like, should I take off my laptop cover before I go into my internship? And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna be that guy. And then so I'm like, usually I keep my laptop at my desk. Nobody sees it. It's at my cubicle or whatever. But I take my laptop to show this dude in his office, like something I've been working on. And he's like, oh, you're bold. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, you see my sticker? I forgot that was there. Yeah, people have to be like, not afraid to like go against the grain, because it is a tough thing to go against the grain when like everybody you know hates this one guy. You just want to say fuck it, like it's not worth like maybe losing a friendship or like maybe just being haggled every day by my grandmother.
Which happens because one of the things, and it's not one of those things that like needs to be pointed out, but it's pointed out for the specific reason of the second that you're a black dude that supports Trump, it is instantly like, what the fuck are you doing?
Dude, I hate that shit too, because it's like kind of racist to be like, oh, you look this way, you have to think this way.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
and you also get it from the inside too, in a sense of like, oh, you're not really black.
Yeah, dude. It's like, that bullshit. Dude, you see this shit? Like, I can't take it off.
Yeah, it's the no true Scotsman fallacy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll one of the ones, the biggest one, Trump's racist, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I don't.
And why not?
There's just like, he's never said like racist shit. And I know people are like,
ooh, Nick's making a face.
He called all Mexicans rapists and criminals. But then I always like, people, that's the first thing they say. And I'm like, okay, like, what did he really say? Like, he said some of these people are rapists and they're criminals or whatever, and then some are good people. And it's like it's not factually wrong to say that like there hasn't been a single illegal immigrant murderer from Mexico, you know? And I feel like the way he says things throws people off a lot, which is why I guess I can see why they think he's racist, but I don't think so. And then we can like sit here and talk about if he's racist or not, but at the end of the day, like neither of us know the guy. We've never like had a conversation with him to be like, yeah, I know that guy. Like he's a racist. Like there are some people we all know. You're like, yeah, that guy's totally a racist, you know? Like,
and it's because you know them.
Like, yeah, like without a doubt, you can say this guy's got like a troubled history with race relations. But at the end of the day, I think it's all skepticism. And then it's like the media's number one lie, and knowing that like they'll do anything to like, I guess, bring him down. You're like, oh, he's probably not a racist. Like they're just throwing that at them. And they've called like every single Republican president a racist.
Yeah,
you know,
that seems
it's like,
to be a
like
trigger
George
happy
Bush
word.
was a racist. Fucking Mitt Romney was a racist. Like John McCain when he was running was a racist. Like it's just like the go-to
the black candidate, the surgeon.
Ben Carson.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gotten it too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I went to a Ben Carson rally 2015. That was pretty cool.
Was that local?
Anaheim.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Shit. I'm surprised those guys like really bring it out here.
Nobody ever comes to California. Trump literally on his campaign trail went to California once.
Where'd he go?
Anaheim.
Oh,
because that's like
Orange County.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's the last Republican bastion in the state, basically.
When people throw the word racist around all the fucking time.
Yeah, dude, every day.
They like to use different definitions of the word.
Changing it up depending on what they feel like that day.
They don't have power.
Yeah. So there's the power one, and then there's like
power to be racist.
Yeah.
Like,
So I was gonna ask, what's your
Jimbo
opinion?
living in his trailer park has like literally no power, dude. Like,
so yeah, I was gonna ask what your opinion is of the different definitions of racism, because I know people who lean really hard left tend to go with the, in my opinion, wrong definition of racism.
That's the definition I had coming out of my freshman year at or my first semester at CSUN after I took that like Africana Studies class or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, yeah, because they like teach it to you, and
you're like, they present it so professionally.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. Like you need power, but like mean shit based off of race is like racism.
Racist.
Like
yeah, that's my thing is like the dictionary works fine.
Yeah.
You should go with the definitions.
I think Merriam and Webster had it wrong.
Yeah, I remember one time I got in some dumb Twitter
and then they're
debate.
like, "Oh, you're bringing up the dictionary? It was written by a white person."
I was gonna say that. I got in some stupid ass debate, and someone was like, "Well, we can't use the dictionary because it was written by white people." And I was like, "Jesus,
well, damn, let's
fucking
just
Christ!"
Stop tweeting.
Yeah, I was like, "Stop English completely.
Right?
We need a new language."
Because Twitter's run by a white person, so I mean, you being on that's a problem.
Yeah. Race relations are pretty bad right now.
The reason why I don't chime in on politics is not only do I not have an opinion, but I don't have any factual statements to make on it. So,
I wish more people were like that. Dude, people just start throwing shit out their ass.
Yeah,
they're like, I saw this headline. It must be true.
Oh my god.
No,
people don't give a shit.
My
about
only
being
thing
wrong.
is when I see like tweets, but I can't remember the tweets off the top of my head, so I just keep my mouth shut. Like if I can't remember it, but I remember seeing it, like there was something fucking Trump said in a tweet. It was a couple of them I saw. I was like, oh. You shouldn't be saying that. Like, not only are you the president, but like that's kind of fucking racist, dude. Like that one was actually over the line.
There's sometimes like Trump will tweet, and then I always gotta like people are like, "Bro, how do you support this guy?" Like I remember, oh my god. I guess Fool just wakes up one day and he tweets, "Transgenders are banned from the military."
I remember that shit.
And I'm like, oh, come on, Donald. Come on. You're making it hard to be a supporter. It's like Kodak Black. I love Kodak Black. I want to love that guy's music so bad. But he does stupid shit all the time. Like, come on, Kodak.
But that's my point of like, I just couldn't support somebody that would say some shit like that. Like, I can't back that. I can't fucking back that. Like that's just fucking batshit crazy to me. Is to just like if one day Tub woke up and he just said some fucking outlandish shit, I'd be like, oh, this podcast is over. Like I'd be done. I'd probably call him and be like, what the fuck is this?
I'd probably say some shit like mid podcast.
If he said something mid podcast, I'd be like, I'm gonna have to tune out on that one. Like, but I just look,
because like not to throw you out there, but you're like kind of anti-Trump.
I'm not anti-Trump.
So you're neutral.
I've never been on any. I've literally never had a side on anything. I just don't fucking like the guy.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, because I've heard you like go on like rants about about him.
But to
negatively,
say,
and so I would say
anti-Trump is to say like everything that dude does is bad.
Well, I don't think so because you can be a supporter of Trump and not agree with every single thing he says. So you can be against Trump, but also have certain parts that you guys can.
Yeah,
agree
but I
on.
think like like saying that you're for someone or like. When I think of I think of like, that's it. Like, there's nothing he can do.
So you think of like blindly disagreeing with every single thing. Well, I don't mean ignorantly. I just mean like you would lean if you were to lean on the spectrum.
I do not like the guy. I think he's a shit human being. And I think a lot of the things he says are fucking garbage. But I'm not going to sit here and say that some of the ideas that he's thrown out, like every idea that he's ever thrown out as trash is a fucking garbage statement to say.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like, a solid 85-90% of him dislike.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to where that like why like you have such a like great different why there's such a great difference between your opinion of him and Hot's opinion of him, like where that stems from.
I mean, that literally stems from as far as our fucking childhood, probably.
I think just like ideologies, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like it's how you grew up, what you saw, what you were told growing up, like what you think is right and wrong, where you grew up. It's fucking everything.
So
like, dude, he's becoming a lawyer. I'm a photographer. We're in two different fucking worlds. Like he has to look into politics. I don't.
Not necessarily.
He's black. I'm white. Two completely different fucking worlds, like entirely. So it's. I mean, to even get into that would take days to fucking figure out why we have our differences.
I feel like with Trump, he just says a lot of stupid shit, and that throws people off. But I feel like his results make up for it.
Some of his results.
Like I feel like he's the first politician. I've only lived under like maybe three, yeah, if we count Clinton. But he's like the first politician to like make or keep his promises. I feel like people are mad at him for like doing what he campaighed on. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Campaigned on build the wall, and about 60 million people were like, yes, I want to build a wall. Yeah. And now people are like, oh my God, why is he building a wall?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fucking ridiculous to think that, oh, he's actually doing what he said. He fucking said it.
Like that's where we're at right now.
That's
like, we're
one
surprised.
point that I will agree. Like, Tub brought this up once, and then I've heard it on multiple fucking podcasts and radio shows, anything that I listen to, where people say, like, he has been the most upfront from the very fucking beginning campaign runner we've ever had.
He's consistent.
Yeah. He's literally been consistent.
He's real.
And saying that doesn't mean like anybody is for or against him. It's literally stating a fact that he has fucking said something and stuck with it.
Like, you know what you get.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is he's the most consistent. That doesn't mean that he has pure consistency. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that you guys are saying that. What I'm stating is I don't know facts, but I just know from fucking... God, dude, is the thing about media, even this fucking podcast, it can steer anybody any which way. Like, media, you learn what you see. And that's about it. Whatever you see, that's your knowledge base on it.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing that's come out of Trump's presidency by far is the overall like exposure of mainstream media.
Oh,
just
dude,
like the
that's
bullet wounds.
That is what he'll go down in history for. Like that's what I fuck with him the most for. Like the fact that he can get like an arena of hundreds of thousands of people to just chant CNN sucks. Shit makes my day. Like I would vote for him off the strength of that alone.
The one thing I am stoked about him being president is two things. Is not only is it causing people to like open their fucking eyes to shit, like you guys said, with the media,
seeing with that corruption and that collusion and all that shit. The consistency,
him being open and like as shitty as it is, it's open and honest for the most part.
Yeah, he's consistent.
And then the second thing is that it's going to cause us to find whoever is next. Like, we're gonna make sure that's either a really good fucking person or a really open person.
How do you follow up Trump?
Yeah, that's a topic no one's ready for, man.
Right.
When he's ready to leave office, I'm gonna be so sad because we're never gonna have another troll in the White House. Like,
dude, he trolls so hard.
Dude trolled his way to the White House. Like, he's comedy. Really shit is entertaining. Like, I don't know. I don't want to go back to a boring presidency.
I've sat down and watched a tweet of his pop up on my timeline and reared my head back in laughter.
Dude,
not just because it's funny, but because I cannot believe the president of the United States is tweeting this shit. What was that video he tweeted of himself? He tweeted like a couple weeks ago.
With like the Trump Forever?
Yes, where it was going through his terms, and it went to like 2100.
Trump forever. People take it so seriously, which is hilarious.
It's like you can, with any shred of common sense, you can see he's not being serious.
He tweets
but
this
people
meme,
get so upset
and then
over
people are like, "Oh my God, he wants to violate the Constitution and be elected forever."
My thing is, I don't think that a president should fucking act that way. The leader of the free world, there's just something that just doesn't sit right with me to say some fucking insane shit the way he says it. And I get it. Like there are some of the ones where I'm just like, that is so fucking ridiculous. It's funny.
When he was on Twitter calling Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, dude. Or my favorite moment from his Twitter use was when Kanye tweeted a picture of the hat, and then he quoted, and he was like, "Thank you, Kanye, very cool, dude." And then Kanye just quoted that shit with fire emojis, dude. I saw that tweet, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Because it's like the best of both worlds, bro. I love Kanye, I love Trump. Kanye comes out and says, "I fuck with Trump," and I'm like, "Oh, I fuck with you even harder, Kanye."
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, I'm very centered with Trump. There are a ton of stuff that I disagree with, and a ton of stuff that I think he should gain more credit for that he doesn't get credit for. And with his tweets, there are some that I see where I genuinely get a little bit like uncomfortable about. Like the one where he tweeted about Iran. And he just said something about like they'll regret
watch
it.
Out.
Like basically like come at me and I will declare war.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh dear God. I started getting like a little like angsty over it.
That's my point.
But the majority of them I don't get that way over.
Yeah,
because even when he called Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, I'm sitting here laughing my ass off because I know past this tweet, politics are so complex and interconnected that this tweet's not going to cause a war.
Yeah. And dude, I think another thing he doesn't get credit for is not starting a war. Like, when has there ever been a president who hasn't gone to war within like the first 2 years? You know?
Yeah. Shit, I never thought about that.
Yeah, dude. And that's like a major accomplishment, dude. He like I don't want to say he's responsible, but like under his administration and the policies and his like negotiations and deals, he basically like solved the North Korean South Korean problem. Like
that's
this fool stabbed into North Korea like last week.
Yeah,
that shit has never happened.
That's one thing that I never understood was why people were so pissed off about him for getting like good relations going with Russia and North Korea.
They're like, oh, he wants to be best friends with this guy. I'm like, I'd rather be friends with the guy than like fucking
enemies.
Blow him up.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's one of the things that when I like first learned about the Cold War in great detail, I was shocked that we didn't straight nuke each other, us and Russia.
Yeah,
I was completely shocked that we didn't because we were like seconds away from pressing the button and JFK didn't. And so when I see Trump getting along with Putin, when I see Trump getting along with Kim Jong-un, I don't sit here and think, oh, like it's a corrupt system. Like, he's going to start implementing tyrannical things. Like, yeah, exactly. I would much rather feel safer knowing that Putin doesn't want to go to war with us because he likes Trump, rather than thinking, you know, Hillary and Putin are baring teeth at each other, ready to send
if Hillary
it at
was
any
in
moment.
office, I don't even want to think about what wars we'd be in right now.
Didn't she want to bomb them?
Yeah, she wanted to fucking bomb everybody because she's a war hawk.
She was talking about going over illegal airspace and all this crazy shit, and it's like that scares me more than a tweet ever does.
This is the exact fucking point that I'm making about politics. Is why I don't get involved in them is because I can never get anything fucking straight. Literally everything changes all the fucking time, every day, and again, depending on what you see. You up on Twitter, scroll by. You see somebody say like, I can't fucking believe the president would say this. You go and check. And now you have this instant opinion and reaction to something that he said versus if somebody were to say something good about it. Like, oh, that shit's fucking comedy.
Yeah. Like it'll be like, you know, like Summer Girl 97 said, you know, what a racist pig. And then it's like K-Tub said, LMAO. Like,
yeah, basically.
And it's just like, this is why I try to steer clear of all that shit. And I just talk to people about themselves and what they do and what they believe, and it's like cool, that's where I leave it, and I just move on because I can't ever get shit straight with politics.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of educating yourself on hot topics all the time. Yeah, like when you want to have a firm stance on like abortion, or when you have a firm stance on like marijuana legalization, you have to get into like deep information and really like spend time looking it up and understanding it in order to have a respectable opinion, rather than just kind of being like a headline honcho and just going off of whatever.
Check out this CNN article.
Yeah. And that's the thing that one of the things that just bothers the fuck out of me is just
you'll like read the headline and then you'll read the article and it's
totally
like,
different.
Well, however,
but or it could be this way.
That shit is all clickbait, man.
Yeah, and it just pisses me off that so many people go off of article titles and that's where they formulate their political opinion. Like it's much better to go with your stance of hold off, sit in the bleachers and watch than a stance of, well, isn't it obvious that, blank is this way? Isn't it obvious that you should make this decision? Because all I ever see is shit framing it this way, but people only go off the headline, and the headline is so different than the body of the text.
People don't want to read. Like I'll tell people like, read, and they're like, oh, I don't like reading. And I'm like, dude, you read your Twitter timeline all day. Like,
it's no different. It's just bigger words and more punctuation
and like more of a thought out message.
I just have much more important shit in my personal life that I could be doing versus that. Like I said,
lawyer, that's fine.
Photographer. And I'm not saying that I'm defending myself by any means. I'm literally stating like that's where when you guys are talking about it, I'll just sit there and be like,
yeah, but no, that's honestly the best place to learn. Like when you watch people talk about
when
it.
you just listen.
Sometimes you get both sides and you're like, oh, well, I liked him. We agree. We disagree.
Yeah.
Here's where I think.
And
as long as you have your own like self-awareness, like locked down where you can make your own opinion about shit.
Yeah, judgment.
And not just get fucking steered by other people's opinions.
Parrot talking points all day.
Oh, dude.
I'm like,
it's like catchphrases that they just throw out. And
have you ever had an original thought in your life?
That shit is trash. When people, you can clearly see that they're just regurgitated statements.
I love that shit. Whenever somebody goes around interviewing people, whether that be exposing people on the right or exposing people on the left, but they'll just walk out with like their phone as a microphone.
Yeah.
And then someone will be like, Trump's racist, and he'll be like, give me one reason why. And they never can.
No.
Or someone will be like, Hillary's so corruptive, and they'll be like, give me one reason why. And they can't give a reason.
It's obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious. It's common sense. It's like, okay, yeah, exactly.
Broad fucking statements.
Yeah, I remember seeing people get interviewed at Trump rallies, and they were like, oh yeah, well, I just want to know why Obama didn't do anything about 9/11.
Oh yeah, that's just comedy.
And it's like, who was in office, bro?
Fucking idiots, man.
He's probably out golfing and all that shit. And so like you hear that shit on one side, and then you hear a bunch of shit on the other side, and not only to see the stupidity on both sides, but also to have the interactions with people where you sit down and talk and have an honest conversation with someone who like super supports Trump, or the exact opposite, someone who is very against Trump, but again, a respectable person. And then like Nick, you can sit here and be like, well, I know J-Hotz now, and I like respect this guy. And so I don't think he's dumb for his opinion. And then at the same time be like, I know blank, and they definitely are against Trump, and I respect their opinion. And so you can sit here and be like, I think both people have some truth to them. I think there is some something to learn from both sides, rather than people who shut down conversation with the opposition.
Yeah,
dude. I feel like people on the left are like not willing generally to hear the other side, or even like have a debate or discussion about things.
That's one thing
which is kind of sad.
Yeah, it really bums me out
because they're
a
like,
lot.
I feel like they're like so like locked into the way they think, like they don't ever want to hear a piece of contradicting information or evidence.
Yeah, or they have, like you said, like their parrot catchphrases that they just like whip out as a counter.
And they're really good at that shit.
Yeah, and you're like, that's not a real counter. That doesn't actually go at what
do you
I was
honestly
stating.
think about that shit that you just said, dude?
Yeah, and what I have noticed is when it comes to people on the left at our age and older, and then older Republicans are the worst about not wanting to have conversation.
Oh yeah.
But young Republicans seem to be the best about it. They seem to always be like, well, debate me, have a conversation. Let's talk openly about this.
I feel like that's because like liberalism is almost like the default political setting that you get when you're like born and you're like grow up in the society. Like,
yeah, and
you talk to like the everyday apolitical person, they'd be like, yeah, fuck Trump. Like, I don't care about this shit, but like, fuck the guy. There's never like some guy who's like, yeah, I don't know anything about it, but I love Trump, And I feel like they just go kind of like,
but that's kind of like how Obama got it.
Based off the culture, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's super culture.
It's whatever sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. And then like when you like me, like if you like go to the dark side, it's through talking to people and like grappling with these ideas yourself, and then like doing that, like you're more eager and more willing to do that with other people. And then I feel like people on the right try to do that more because like they want to like maybe open up some minds, or also just kind of like plant a seed in somebody's mind.
Well, that's kind of like the stance you kind of have to take when you're considered the underdog.
Yeah.
In a lot of
which is
arenas.
crazy because how you got the presidency? You had the Senate, you had the House 2 years ago. Like, how is that
and it's,
still the
it's
underdog?
literally like always split like 51%, 49%.
Like, now you're the establishment, which is like crazy, but
yet always seen as the underdog.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest issues that people face when it comes to politics and wanting to either debate something or not be honest or not be serious is the fact that people can't separate themselves from their ideas. They can't separate their identity from their idea.
Yeah.
Because if you're able to take an identity and then just like place it out on the table and then be like, let's discuss this, let's observe this idea, and let's see what's wrong with it, see what's right about it, and do it objectively, you don't get your feelings hurt at all when you realize that an opinion that you once held was wrong, because that has nothing to do with your personal identity. That's just a stance that you took and can be easily fixed and easily changed. And people don't seem to get that, especially with identity politics. People want to take certain aspects and then make that who they are. Dude, and then get hurt when those aspects get put on the table to get picked apart.
Cannot stand identity politics. And I hate it when the right does it. And they're always like, yeah, check out this black Republican, or look at my Muslim, Jewish,
conservative,
transgender Republican. like, dude, like, we're just people who like think a certain way. Like,
focus on culture.
Yeah.
That's where it stems.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that's what I always do. Change the culture before you like change anything. Like, sure, you could change the law and like make everybody be a Republican, but if you don't change some minds, like nobody's gonna want to.
Yeah, you can't force people to think different. You have to persuade them. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna see if you guys were good on wrapping up, because
I
got to get some editing done, and we just did a
I think
little
it's a
over
good
2
spot.
hours.
Yeah, it's super solid.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate
Thanks for
it.
having me.
This was
been waiting for
this
it.
was fun.
Yeah, this was a fucking
Big
good
time.
one. I was looking forward
sorry
to
when
this
I tune
shit.
out on politics. That's just like I tune the fuck
It
out.
just
Like,
became like the Jordan and Tubb.
it's just it literally, like, the second it gets brought up, I'm like, okay,
He's like, fuck,
buckle
this
in,
shit
'cause
again.
I'm not gonna be able to say shit. No, it's not even that shit again. This is the first time it's been like majorly brought up.
Yeah, this is like the first one we got like truly political with the guest. I went on a rant on one of them about we won't get into it, but about how people don't know the difference between a right and privilege, and how they always demand rights, but they're always ending up being privileges because you have to pay for them.
I deserve the right to drive.
Yeah. And so I went on a rant about that, but that was about our only dip into politics.
Yeah. But what episode?
Because is this 30?
This is 30, because now we're
this is 30
because we didn't do the
Yeah.
Monday
Good-
episode.
Good number.
Yep, we got the big 3-0.
It was dope. Like,
Yeah, that was fun.
It's just weird to now be on evens. I'm so thrown off by that, and so thrown off by politics. So I'm gonna need you to close this out, because
All right.
my
So-
brain like tuned the fuck out.
Thank you guys for listening to episode 30 with our buddy J-Hotz, Jordan. And any closing notes you want to throw out there?
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Check out my album.
Oh
When
yeah.
it drops.
Please definitely do that.
July. I'm gonna tweet the album artwork right after this episode.
It's
Hell yeah.
it's to be announced.
Yeah.
Of
CA25.
It's in July-August.
July-August. Ooh, okay.
To be dropped in July-August.
He goes and changes the fucking album title. He's like July.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check out
God
his.
bless the listeners, and God bless America.
Yeah, brother.
All right. Bye guys.
Later.